Sir, side please. Emergency official business. Ma'am, side please. Side please. Thank you. Official business, sir. Ma'am, emergency. Please step aside, sir.
Hey, get lost. I'm waiting here, huh?
FBI, you might want to stay out of this, all right, sir? Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, please, back off. All right, I need 8 double tall.
So you have to wonder, why are we so late? Is it because all three of us and those that will be joining us in a little bit got some news from the Hot Toys wizard? You have to wonder, is it a matter of fact, maybe the Star Wars newsman is the Hot Toys wizard or Lane? You have to wonder. But listen, just like the banner, are we on the dark side of the moon when it comes to understanding the secondary market for Hot Toys, particularly
or
Star Wars Hot Toys?
Harry, you have to wonder as well, though, since they've disappeared recently, am I the one who is responsible for CT Sucket and CT FOMO for suddenly disappearing?
I never heard of CT FOMO, but I like it. I've heard of TK FOMO now.
TK FOMO. The CTTK. That's what I could be setting that out to confuse you.
Well, I think there should be a CT FOMO, though. I really, really do.
Charles Thomas FOMO?
There you go. Goodness gracious.
FOMO is everywhere. It's unavoidable, Eric.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's FOMO for your favorite show returning. It's FOMO for your favorite figure. FOMO for your favorite statue. Or just FOMO that I finally get to go back to my home just after being stuck at work all day.
I've got FOMO that my pizza is not going to be piping hot by the time the show is over. And I'm going to miss out.
At least that you can run and you can say, you can go, hey, I got to go away for a minute, turn the camera off, and we just suddenly actually hear something.
I've got FOMO if my Cabernet gets empty. What do I do then?
Oh, there you go. That sounds actually really, really good about now. Speaking about the Cantina, there you go. I may have to go. Get some of the worm upstairs. Goodness gracious, get some tequila. Put that in a little bit of the off-world Jawa egg juice, a little twist of lemon, a little salt. I think you all know what I'm talking about. Maybe some.
So with that, does that make you the most interesting man in Mos Eisley?
It makes me the most FOMO man because now I'm thinking.
You're thinking about
it may be all empty by the time I get up there.
You realize interacting with me that you're actually a trooper collector and it's time to FOMO and start tracking down all of those troopers.
I couldn't.
Hey, I want to say for the record that my FOMO will end for the Dark Trooper on Wednesday because it will be in my possession. And Aries, if you're doing a show Wednesday night,
yes,
and if you want me to be on it, I will hold on and I will unbox it live for you.
And see, I say yes.
See, this is absolutely not fair because Sideshow has had me charge me last Monday for my Dark Trooper, and I'm still waiting for it to ship. So they probably stuck it at the port.
If they charged you for it, then your FOMO's gone because now you're not going to miss out. They took your money.
Well, no, in my luck, they're going to send it out like on Tuesday. It's going to arrive right when I leave on my vacation on Saturday, so it's going to sit at the other place for like a week.
I need a vacation. Well, is it next weekend, Labor Day weekend, right? I think I've got a few days off on top of that, which is really, really good. I need it right now. Goodness gracious.
And Aries,
yes,
we were talking earlier the other day, this morning, about some of the deals on Facebook. I missed a Dark Side Anakin for $580.
Wow.
Oh, that's a pretty good price for that right now.
Yeah. No, they're one of the things I was just telling in chat is because I had seen a few things like a couple Obi-Wans for under $500, the deluxe editions, and everybody's like, send me a link. Big Dog Pound was nailing me for where's the link? Send me the link.
It's kind of funny. We're talking about deals for a deluxe Obi-Wan for $500.
Well, I put it in context. So hey, it is a deal, sir, because you know why? That's an Obi-Wan Kenobi that is $10 less than buying the Silver Centurion Iron Man figure and putting it on pre-order. That's something for $10 less. Great deal. and you can get it sent to you within a week instead of having to wait 8 months. So that sounds like time deal and amount deal.
Yes, it's like kind of crazy when we talk about it though, right? And we're going to get into that. That's what this whole Us and Them, and if people don't know what that is, one of the greatest songs of all time on Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. Us, meaning Lane, meaning Brent, meaning all of you in the chat, meaning me. Them, meaning Hot Toys, meaning Sideshow, meaning every other reseller. We're going to talk about delays, early releases, lower numbers, reseller heaven, secondary market, all kinds of stuff. It is crazy to get into. What does the other side of the moon, the future, look like for the secondary market? We're going to get into that in this show, guys. How about the new Iron Man? Man, that is pretty cool. We're going to look at that as well. What about cable? Now that the pictures, the videos are
you
out,
might need to start playing Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival when they talk here about that figure.
I see. Now I'm not going to get that damn song out of my head. Thanks so much, man. Bad Moon Rising.
I see trouble along the way. There's a bad.
Well,
I forget. I just messed up the lyrics. Oh,
listen, we hit the like button already. I didn't even play the intro. We got a couple of others joining us later today. We're going to talk about all that. And I don't know, Brent, Lane, maybe we'll talk about something else. But let's go ahead and dive into it, baby. Right now. Welcome to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. And just in case you don't know just who I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk along with Brent and Lane. Guys, I love kicking off the show. We got to play that intro, even if we talk for 5-10 minutes before.
Now, I want to know anybody in chat right now, because we've got about 43, and we know we're going to be shooting up as the stream gets going here.
Mm-hmm. Like
does Aries not have the most funkadelic intro that you just want to get down to, whether you're at work right now, watching on your phone, sitting at home, or just, probably shouldn't do it if you're on the bus right now because you would look kind of weird, but you want to get down when you hear that intro?
That's right. If you super chat me $1,000, I'll play it again.
You'll go rent
Just play it. Don't do that, please.
Rent a sound.
Maybe a Cambodian band
to play. Yeah, no. Save that money for Hot Toys figures or paying your rent.
You're going to need to save that money.
Or Darkseid. That's not enough for Darkseid Anakin. Sometimes, as Aries pointed out, like, what was that? Someone spent $1,700. So that figure is, how do you put Aries? Out of control.
It's right out of control. But it's funny. You were mentioning the Facebook groups. That is a great mechanism. Mm-hmm. I love to give people hints to be able to find deals for collectibles in the collecting world. I remember, you're really heavy into the vintage collecting world. If you just rely on eBay, if you just rely on sites like Mercari, if you just rely on, going to some of these big, giant, festivals or cons or like Star Wars Celebration or stuff like that, it's going to be at a premium dollar and a lot times more, especially if you're dealing at Forget About It, especially for some of the high-end stuff, some of your comic shops.
Yeah,
it's going to be high, especially on those stuff like Dark Side. They're going to charge a price up. But when you can get together into what I like to call some of these guilds, and here's what's something that people don't realize, Lane. I'll go to you first since we're talking about it. It's real interesting because like let's use like the biggest channel we know in the community. I don't know who it is, whatever. They get 200, 300, 400 people that watch live. Wow, that's 300 people watching live. That's not even like 1 percentage point of the amount of people collectively, like not even a percentage point of the percentage of a point that actually buy the Hot Toys. They don't know about that. You know, like I don't know. I go buy my wife yarn or some stuff for her birth. No, seriously. But she's like, well, why did you pay that at the yarn store at Walmart? Because at the Yarn Guild, you know, our Facebook group, I can get it for 30% off. But this happens all the time. So that's always a good place. The reason I never use it in calculating the market chart is because it's such a small percentage. It's not a real representation of Tom, Dick, and Harry who don't watch my channel or even the biggest channel who know to go in. Like I don't know to go. I just know to go buy the damn figure type of thing. But that is a really, really good way to find some stuff cheaper sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'd say the trade-off though, so sometimes you might find that deal is that has been a reoccurring problem, even more so it seemed with like scammers and stuff like that on Facebook groups. Where you have with something like with Macari or some of the more a more organized site or something, or eBay or something, which is what you like to use a lot, just for tracking info. It's a little bit because you might find, like you say, you might find a random figure for a low price from one person who's just trying to get rid of it like that. And then the next 6 are going to be all like, $300 more. So like, how do you judge that when you're figuring stuff out? There is a little bit more security. You might pay a little bit more, but there is a little bit more security. Not always, like nothing's perfect. Like using eBay or something like that, you have
eBay. Well, listen, eBay is a pain in the rear end for anybody who's selling on there. They all know that now. But there is some sort of security with that as a buyer. Because
I'm thinking more
hard
as a buyer, not as a seller.
Yeah, not necessarily as a seller, but you do get the more premium price in that, and there are little tricks as a seller to make sure that you're vetting out some of the buyers that are going to really look to screw you and use the eBay buyer protection policy to the fullest extent of how they can screw you with it. But if you're pretty savvy and you know what you're doing, you know how to list that. But there is a sense, like Lane's saying there, Brent, of security using eBay. I know for me, when I'm buying some high-end stuff, I almost rather spend a little bit more to know I can have peace of mind in knowing it's going to be good. Now, I don't want to spend that much more. So here's the thing. If someone would tell me, hey, Aries, I was able to get it animated. There's an animated FET for $550 on the Facebook group. You want it? I'm like, no. Even though it's $750 on eBay, I don't want to spend $350 for it. I kind of want to max out. So unless you can find it for me $350 or $375, I don't care if it's $550.
You never know.
I still don't want it. But if I'm going to spend $550 for it, I might as well spend $600 and get security. But anyway, what do you think?
I've always bought my figures, my 1/6 scale figures, directly off of Sideshow's site, with the exception of maybe a couple off of eBay. I've never gone rogue off of eBay.
So you buy right from the seller, right from the official distributor is what you like to do.
I do that. And yeah, I mean, it sucks. The fees, the shipping, they get you on that. But I like the reward points through Sideshow. I like to accumulate those and then burn those later in the year. Like my Fennec Shand, I just used all points on when that came out back in December or January.
That's got to be sweet. Isn't that sweet when you're able to do that?
It's fun. I mean, I'm basically getting it for free, when it comes out, and and then you just accumulate more points and you go that route. And I'm glad that they're doing that. But you're
Kind of
right.
like
The
getting
buyer
rewards on your credit card. It's like if you feel a little good if you got a good credit card anyway.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, buyer protection through eBay. I mean, I because of that, I don't have any issues buying. If I don't like what I'm getting, or if the seller doesn't ship the item to me, I get my money back. I mean, you just you file a claim, and it probably takes 5 business days, and you'll have that money back, and it's all said and done. And I liked having that protection. As a seller, if you're selling on eBay, I mean, man, they take you to the school at the end. I mean, they take 12% on the back end. If you don't have an eBay business, they're going to take 12% of whatever it sells for on the back end for themselves. So you might not get what market value is for your stuff because eBay takes such a huge chunk out of it. So I guess if you're selling on eBay, you just have to accept that reality.
Well, Good for Health says, I saw a crazy scam in one of the Facebook groups that involved eBay Meetup and the barcode system they have. Yeah, you do have to watch up. And welcome in here, Good for Health. Let me know what table you're at. And welcome everybody in here watching the Market Chart Show here on a Saturday night. We have got Lane Kramer in the house. We have got the Star Wars newsman Brent in the house as well. We should be getting MRC Collection Ventures joining us in the house here in a little bit. And also Joao Big Bretta soon, coming all the way from the other side of the galaxy, because we're on Tatooine over here. But that's a good point about this, guys. What Good for Health brought up. And really, there's pros and cons on both platforms. Yes, you get buyer protection on eBay and Mercari and some of these places, but sometimes you could get things of a lot better of a bargain if you can find it on a Facebook group, for sure. But there's a lot of ways to skin that cat, but there's also a lot of ways to get burned as well. I find that one of the no-nos that I find is this whole friends and family. And then you hear the nightmares, people not getting the figure because they went friends and family. And now all of a sudden they don't got the PayPal protection. And they were talking to somebody offline. I really feel one of the best things you can try and do is ask for references. And is it possible that you should reach out to those references? And I say yes. For some of the people here that use the Facebook groups in this small, and I do mean, gentlemen, this is a small community online, like the point I was bringing up earlier, like with my wife's knitting clubs or whatever, yarn stuff. I don't know. And yeah, you go to the store and you buy it. That's great that it's a lot cheaper. But there's a lot of scams too. And I think you have to vet it out. That's a little bit of a pain in the neck, though. It's not like hitting click, buy, okay, done. You have to reach out to this one, wait to get the message, maybe reach out to that one and that one. It's a little bit of work to find a deal, isn't it?
I think if you're a vintage Star Wars toy collector, okay, when I say that, I guess people could think vintage is in the 90s, but no, I'm talking about 77 to 84, the real vintage toys, okay? I wouldn't go anywhere but on eBay because there are so many reproductions of everything out there now. The guns, the lightsabers, the figures themselves might not be real because so many people today are able to make 3D resin casts of so many of these figures.
I sold a mint on card not too long ago. R2D2 12 back. It's freaking amazing. Non-AFA graded. And the seller was so paranoid and challenged me. And I knew that, was coming to make a claim. There's no way that this is real. It's probably blah, 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 blah.
Did you mean buyer?
The buyer. Yes, I was a seller.
Okay. You said backwards.
Oh, did I really? No.
Yeah. That's why I was confused there for a second.
And they wanted to send it to the AFA to prove the authenticity. And I said, please go ahead. And they did and approve the authenticity of it, which was fantastic because I already knew that it was anyway. However, what I did one time, Brent, for one vinyl Cape Jawa mint on card, I actually traveled like it wasn't that far, maybe 3 hours to actually go and see it in person, and that's how I was able to acquire that. And because it was like a Facebook group, if you will, like a guild, gosh, I was able to get one mint. It was crazy because those things go for $10,000 above. But
Easily.
I got a pretty good deal with $1,750.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Now that wasn't recently. That was some time ago. But this is always the case. There are these off platforms, these guilds, these groups that are small that people don't know about. If everyone knew about them, the prices would be just as high because everybody's looking at it. There's only so much to go around at that deal in there. But that's a great point bringing this up. But there's no way I would have bought that figure unless I got into the damn car and saw it myself. And I knew that person also got references of that in particular person. Actually, it was somebody who, back then related to 12back.com, because you don't just go and you meet anybody either, Brent. That's a key too, because I've bought a hot toy figure meeting somebody off the internet on the side, but it was a very public place, right? And because you don't know who you're meeting. So
Right.
there's a lot of benefits. Look, Aries, I got it $100 cheaper. That's fantastic and that's great. But you'll also have to make sure that you dot your I's, right, Brent? And you
Yes.
cross your T's.
No, there's no question about it. Getting back to what I was kind of referencing, I don't think there's a whole lot of people out there reproducing Hot Toys accessories yet. Maybe
Not
they
yet.
are.
I wonder if they. Yeah, no, it's hard to reproduce them.
But for vintage Star Wars, it is running rampant. I mean,
you have to really
it is-
know what the hell you're looking at.
and you got to know how to know. You got to know how to take a vintage gun, a real one, like a Stormtrooper little black gun, right, from the 1978 figure, and a repro one, and how to tell the difference. You got to know. And there's tutorials out there, but drop them in, fill up your sink, close the drain at the bottom and drop them in there. And the one that floats is the one that's real. I mean, that's that's one way to do it.
Well, yeah, you have to wonder, have we been joined by Regan, or is it possible that Regan is the Hot Toys
They call
wizard?
him the Wizard.
Regan, what's going on there? MRC Collection Ventures. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Aries. Sorry.
Good morning to you. You just woke up. I told everyone you're on the other side of the galaxy.
He looks like a ball of energy ready to explode like a Kamehameha.
Listen, you're ready to go you're ready to go back to Secret Base and hopefully take some more pictures next week of some other crazy new announcements. I was actually hearing, Regan, that there may be, I think, Lane, you and I were talking about it, supposedly some Star Wars announcements may be coming up next week. Regan, I would be hoping that MRC Collection Ventures is going to be in Secret Base, taking the pictures like you did with the Iron Man. We'll talk about that here, but maybe next week you'll be taking a few trips.
Yeah, I know. Maybe, hopefully, if there's a new upcoming releases, or let's say they have new figures that's going to launch, gonna be around there.
For sure.
Regan now just would like his Hot Toys cup of coffee.
Listen, you got to get some. Yeah, absolutely. I need some coffee myself. It's absolutely crazy. But Regan, it's good to have you in here, brother. We're talking about ways. There's the coffee right there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Right?
come on.
Just go. Yeah, come
I've
to the
got the
dark
spot.
With the
side.
appropriate, come to the
Yeah,
dark side.
Brent's got the Brent. What the heck were you drinking again? There, you got the.
I got the Nighthawk Dark Mountain.
Oh goodness, I got to get my proper 66 anyway.
One to help wake you up, and then one you take to put you out.
But and Regan, we'll jump you in here, but we're talking about trying to get figures on deals, and but like I said, yeah, with that Vital Cape Jawa, $1,750, and that it was like, hey, but trusted seller. I wanted to see it in person. I knew what I was looking for, but I also vetted it out to make sure that I was actually seeing a real person. You got to be careful that you don't just meet somebody in a dark alley or in some place you don't know what you're. No, but there are a lot of deals like that.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So what I always suggest on these Facebook groups or any of these groups, ask for references, and then maybe they know Lane, and maybe Lane bought a figure, or maybe they know Brent, and Brent brought a figure, or maybe they know Regan. Like, yes, I had experience. That's a good seller, especially if someone's asking, hey, friends and family. Like, okay, like I would buy from Lane, friends and family, but only because I know Lane now a little bit. You know what I mean? Would I do something like that? But that's real tricky, Lane, to get into the whole friends
well, I
and
can
family
discuss actually here a recent thing that I had through Facebook with a item where we were everything we were talking about with finding
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was facing with a gentleman who was selling selling his pre-order for, so not even the physical item, a pre-order for the J&D Harley Quinn 3rd scale statue. And so I was very much interested in this piece since I was a dummy and didn't pull the trigger on it last summer. And so he was wanting friends and family for payment. And I mean, he was wanting over $3,000 for it. So as you can imagine, I was like, So, and I had some other responses to what I had put out for, but yeah, some others where it may have been a little bit more secure. The source from they were getting their statue, I kind of went, nope. Because I say nope to the place that they were going to be getting it from. That we all have a lot of familiarity with recently. But
yes,
I asked for references. I got a ton of references in a couple different groups for the guy. And the place that he had the pre-order from was a place that I've gotten statues from. So I was able to get a reference from the owner of the site.
That's
yes,
good.
he does have this item. And he basically said this, we got all into a group. So I was still a little hesitant. Friends and family means you're done pretty much. If
you're done. There's nothing you can do from there. You get absolutely no PayPal.
But he confirmed, I got it confirmed about as much as I could that nope, he has a pre-order. We're going to switch it over to you once it's done. So, and then I talked him down a little bit too. I ended up doing it, but it was.
Did you get it?
I already have it. I won't get it for a couple months yet. But.
And I'm going to go to Regan. And Regan, I know you just woke up, so you don't know, but we're talking about how, and I was talking about even, in vintage Star Wars collecting and stuff like that, any type of collecting, you can find sometimes deals on these small groups that are outside the regular market, outside of Mercari, outside of eBay. You can always find small groups, but you have to be trusting. You have to, and also maybe get some references, because so many people have gotten burned with some of these platforms like eBay. You get buyer protection. But I know for me, I always prefer, it's like, hey, I could save, if someone says to me, Regan, I could save you $15 or $20 if you send it friends and family. I'm always like, you know what? I'll spend the extra $15-$20. Let's just do it non-friends and family. I'll pay for it. Isn't it? Do you find that it's worth saving $15, $20, $30, $50, or would you rather have peace of mind that you're getting a really good 6-scale figure?
Yeah, I mean, that extra 15, I mean, it's well, it's not really a lot. I mean, like, but it's better to really go there and see for yourself, like
Hmm.
just yeah, as you said, like, peace of mind, because it's nowadays there's a lot of I mean, like scammers, like,
Hmm. Hmm.
giving you figure. I've experienced that too. Like, I bought a red skull. They showed the pictures kind of like
Hmm.
blurry. And of course, I was so excited. I was newbie that time. Okay, I'm gonna buy that, and then can ship it to me. Or no, no, he actually gave it to his friend, and then sent it to me. And then when I checked the what's this the pleather, it's already broken, but he said it's everything is good. I mean, everything there's no damage. Then when it came to me, like, it's like, man, so what can I do? So it's really hard to really trust right now
Yeah.
because it's so big, the six scale figures. I mean, if it's just normal, like figures, like small figures, like 7 inch, like those Hasbro plastic. But then now the six scale, it's really big, and then you really have to go there and really check, if it's good, unless you really know the guy, or you saw him,
Yeah.
in the internet, or you've been talking, actually. Nah, yeah, sometimes like it's like that. Even if you guys know each other, but then it kind of like he's not gonna tell if there's any damage. So it's better to really like see for yourself. I mean, like if you could meet up as much as possible. The
Meeting up
shipping,
is good too.
the extra, yeah, right, that extra, 15, 20, 50. I don't know. I mean, but it's better to get that that friction, whatever
Yep.
payment that you're going to use, PayPal or eBay. It's better to get that protection, just extra, because it's you're gonna keep this for a long time. It's not like you're just gonna use it one time and then throw it away. So it's better to really get something safe, rather than just like, okay, I'm gonna just pay you like this because it's
Yep.
unless you're really really good friends, you guys know each other. You could really tell to the who Facebook, okay, this guy is a scammer, if just in case, like, you are know each other, and then suddenly it just this to you, and then yeah, if you know his face and you could show it to the group, then at least we know. I mean, it's not like a easy money, it's a hard earned money. It's not like money that we get it from somewhere, like, okay, I'll give it to you. Okay. Yeah, better to get the safest, as much as possible. Yeah,
Absolutely. No, no,
that's
good thoughts there, Regan. Um,
mm,
you had a tiny bit of lag, I think, at least for me, in what you were saying, but I think we got most of it there. But you're 100% right. I think it's better to be safe.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit laggy. Yeah, I could
No, that's okay. Your
the
internet will
my internet
sometimes
from
clear
it.
up, and then sometimes just gotta reset it. But it's so good to have you in here. But I got your
No.
thoughts with that. I know um, with one Facebook purchase that I made a year ago, I was go in one of the Facebook groups, and gosh, I forgot which one it was. Trying to get a hot toy figure, and it was for the Luke A New Hope Farm Boy figure. And I was going through this whole thing. Well, if you pay me friends and family, blah 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 blah. And then it turned out I was like, well, no, I'm not comfortable with that. But then the person was willing to meet me, just about 25 minutes from where I live. And so we went ahead and picked a place that we both knew. That was, a public place, meeting over there. And that worked out. And then I was able to get that farm boy Luke for $300, Brent, but it was in a public place. Both came out of the cars, were able to open up, put it on top of the trunk, take a look at it, able to look at the figure, look, boom, 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 boom. Then we went ahead and bought the figure. Sometimes that works when you can do it that way.
No, totally. I think if you have the ability to meet up and you agree to meet in a public place, and if it's not, driving halfway across the country to do it, I think that's a great way to go. That way, the protection is the fact that you're able to see this figure, I guess, firsthand and whatnot. You drove 3 hours to get that vinyl Cape Jawa. I think that's for a vinyl Cape Jawa, for a holy grail figure like that from the vintage 3 3/4 inch line, I would have driven 10 hours to probably see that. I mean,
Yeah, I would have
that
traveled 10 hours for that price too. It was
without a
it's not
doubt.
them.
I mean, that's one that is a hard figure, an impossible figure to really get.
And I sent it to the AFA, so I'd take a guess when it got graded at the AFA, but I got
it is on the card, right?
Oh, it was mint on the card. I got it.
Okay.
It got an AFA graded, which was fantastic for me, 70.
Oh wow! So
which excellent plus. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about well over 10 grand.
Oh wow! And you got that for $1,700.
Yes.
I mean, that is amazing. That is an absolutely fantastic story right there. And whenever we have more time, I'll tell you about my vinyl Cape Jawa story. I don't think we have a whole lot of time here tonight, but it's not a good one. It does not end well.
Oh no.
Me.
No,
but it is entertaining, and everybody on the panel and those commenting will probably enjoy it. If we have time later, I'll share it.
Well, let's say hi to some of the people in here. Welcome, everybody. You are watching the Market Show here at 6 Scale Cantina. Here on a Saturday night, we have got the Star Wars Newsman here in the house. We have got MRC Collection Ventures in the house. Regan is here, and we also got Lane Kramer. God, I can't even get my finger to go near what I'm looking at this way.
You point about as good a direction as I do what I'm doing at this here. I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Well, let's say hi to some of the people that are in here. We have got the insane one in the house, Cantina Insider. Thank you so much for your support.
You also had a super chat come up earlier too.
I saw that. I'm going to get to that later, which is why I'm doing it. Is it possible that's from you or the Hot Toys Wizard? We'll have to see.
Combo meal, probably.
The Collector said, I said over $2,000. I sold over $2,000 of Black Tier Series to a local guy, and I almost felt bad for him. I did give him 20% discount off his site he uses, and that site was crazy with their price info. Way, way high. Yeah, Black Series, anything Hasbro outside of the vintage collection is very, very volatile to determine what those type of figures are going to be worth. Let me tell you something. I had everything from the orange cards to the green cards to the Unleashed to the Power of the Jedi to you name it. Now, there are some Black Series figures that are worth some money
until they get reissued.
Until they get reissued. But vintage collection, different story a little bit.
Hey, Aries, I did want to make one comment. I meant to make this when I was talking my example earlier. Mm-hmm. So the reason the gentleman, this is the thing for U.S. sellers are facing, is the reason he was not willing to do anything but friends and family, because I told him, I talked him down from his original price, but I'd say I would pay whatever the tax difference was. It was going to be about the same price he was asking for.
Right.
The reason he was not only doing friends and family is because of the tax law. That was his big reason. I think that's what has made things trickier sometimes for people.
That he was only doing friends and family, or that he wouldn't do it?
He would just only do friends and family. It wasn't even.
Yes, but that gives you no protection.
Well, no. I'm just saying though, but I think that's a reasoning too, though, which made things a little bit trickier for the. It may not be always for the seller because they're trying to scam you, but it's also because they don't want to. Once they go over $600, they got to pay taxes on it.
Well, and that's another.
Or Meeting Up can take care of that.
You know, and people always wonder, oh, they hit you too hard on eBay. Oh, the seller hits you too hard here. They have to pay taxes. They have to pay eBay fees. Yep. They have to pay PayPal fees. They have to pay taxes, and you know that's part of the reason. But that's part of selling. I mean, you know that's why hey, well, why does the store charge this? Well, it actually costs money for them to get the product distributed to them, and then put on the shelves, and then dispersed out. They got to pay people to sell it to you, type of thing. There's a reason why things are marked up. The Blackbird Tech is in the house saying, great panel. Good to see Regan on the stream. Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry, not to get it. We still got the rest of the, because we got a lot of people in here right now. We got to get to.
Well, I'm gonna go through them real quick so we can get. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this Hulk Hogan. Not this Hulk. I was going to say Hulk Buster.
What are we going to do, brother?
That's Monday Night Raw. That's not tonight. I can't.
Could you imagine? Like
tonight we're just Pink Floyding it out.
Could you imagine how crazy guys Eric would go if Hot Ties put out like an '80s Hulk Hogan Real American figure? Like he'd be like that. He'd be like that. I better not see any jointed arms there. It better be just nice, smooth with 24-inch pythons. And
I'd buy it.
Yeah, and maybe it's got to be voiced like that old Vader, so you can say, "What you gonna do, brother? When I destroy? What about me, the Hulkamaniacs and Hulkamania? Destroy you."
I'm waiting for the Hot Toys Cobra Kai line. Where's that?
Oh, that would be cool.
Where is that? I mean, seriously, I would be. That's like
Ralph Macchio, man.
That's like kryptonite for me.
Two-pack.
I mean, I would be buying every single one of them.
We need Ralph Macchio, original Karate Kid.
Yeah,
like first, second season.
Where are those figures? Where is that line? Oh my gosh, Aries, we've drifted off the reservation again, my friend. Now we're talking Cobra Kai.
Johnny Chosen.
All of them even imagine. Forget about that.
Two packs. 80s and Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai. Gosh.
Cobra Kai would be. I mean, that
John
would be
Kreese
amazing.
And Terry Silver, villain 2-pack.
All of them. I would have to buy all of them.
Sorry. Okay, Aries, we'll let you get back on the road here.
Well, no, because I want to get
back on the track.
I want to get to the Iron Man, especially because Regan took the videos here today for the cool. Iron Man, the whole suit. But let's say hi. The collector says, I'm shipping items like it's a child. I'm too good to my buyers. I know I could take the cheap route, but I ship it like I was sending it to myself. My mom raised me right and sent me to a, absolutely, Catholic school or whatever. No, that's good, the collector. You're taking care of your buyers. That's good for you. Good to have you in here. Insane One's in the house, saying peace of mind, priceless in his humble opinion. The clone collector's in here. What is up, my man? Good to have you in here. Hold My Balls is in the house. Hold My Balls is in here. We got to fill up table 2.
Regular. Love it. You know, that's breast milk.
Okay, Regan, we're crazy here at 6 Scale Cantina, as you know. We're
just like Americans are wacko, man.
It's all Lane's fault.
Yeah, well, you know, madness loves company. What can
Big Dog Pound is happy that Hold My Balls is in the house. Woo! Dan S is in here. What is going on? Louis Labitz, good to have you. Pedro, what is up, my man? Hot Toys Hotline. Can I call you and actually get the Hot Toys Wizard? You have to wonder. Broderick Harms is in the house. What is up, baby? OG Fan is in the house. Guys, I don't want to bore you with this, but we got to fill up the OG Fan.
I'm Boba Fett. I'm here to see the mayor.
Boba Fett. Do you have an appointment?
You don't need an appointment if you're at 6 Scale Cantina.
You know, for OG Fan, the wizard guy is that, you know, they back in the 90s, we had Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holes.
Dean Malenko.
One of the best technical wrestlers ever.
Yes.
OG Fan is the man of 1,000 bobas.
Well, I actually what about Brutus the Barber Beefcake? Anyway,
I don't know if he's got the flair for that.
Lane Kramer, Lane, you're in the panel and you're sending. You're just the most awesome dude here. Time to say it, Aries. I just said it. There you go. I just said. OG
you were
fan.
like, it's like you foresaw it coming with the. Aries,
I absolutely
foresaw it coming. Are you actually another clone of the Emperor who is now foreseeing Force visions of what is to come?
listen, no, but is this what they call you?
They call him the Wizard.
Thanks for the $2 drop, my man. All right, so listen, we got to get into this. Interesting stuff, and we can get back to it. You can get deals off the Facebook groups, off these guilds, if you will. You just got to be careful. Make sure you get references. Make sure that you find out from maybe people that you know that have bought from them before. Don't just meet anybody that says to meet you. Make sure it's in a public place. All that kind of good stuff. It is more expensive in eBay. It is more expensive on Mercari. Sometimes it is more expensive on some comic shops. I mean, a lot of times at the comic shop, Brent is savvy to the figure being high in a secondary market. A lot of times the figures on the secondary market are being sold by local comic shops. So once it goes out of stock at Sideshow, they're going to capitalize on that and do that. But real quickly, just last words on that, advice for collectors that are looking to get deals. I think it's good. You just got to be careful.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think when items go out of stock, like you said, at Sideshow or wherever, if they're in stock at the comic shops, the premiums are going to go up through the roof, and if you want to get them there, you're gonna pay for it. I think it's also important too for people, if you're buying stuff off of like these communities or Facebook communities, it's important to be able to research and go back maybe on the Sideshow page or whatever and take a look at all of the accessories that come with these figures. And then when you get to meet these people, it might be handy to have like a list of everything that's supposed to be in there, because you want to make sure that you're getting everything that you're paying for, and that there isn't something missing or something is lost or like an instruction manual is gone or something else. And if they say the brown shipper is supposed to be there, but then when they show up, the brown shipper isn't there, how do you handle that situation? Do you give them $15 less? I mean, you've got to know what comes with all these figures so that you can cross-reference that list with what you see when you meet these people, and take your time. There should be no rush. I mean, go through everything, make sure everything is there. And if you're a seller, this is a great way, because then you're avoiding the eBay fees. You're avoiding the 12% that eBay would take on the back end. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to go through, Aries, and you listed all of the check the box things that people need to do.
Yeah, and one of the reasons, because people have asked me a lot of times too, hey, and the Thor's in the house as well. I just keep chatting everybody in here. I will get to you, but welcome everybody in here. Again, as I always say, and we have the whole Pink Floyd theme, I'm only an old guy setting the controls at the heart of the sun. Anyway, yeah, you just... I don't add Regan, and we'll close this out, and then we're going to get to that Iron Man, the whole suit, and coming in. I don't put the Facebook group prices into the market chart at 6scalecantina.com for the market value chart, because it's a very small pool. It's kind of like us, a community here on the YouTube, and even the biggest channels that will have like 300 or 400 people watching. That's a very, very small, like 1%, like less than 1 percentage point of people that buy Hot Toys. They're not going to go. Hot Toys doesn't be in business for 300 people. It's a whole mass. So I never put that in there. But you have to be cautious. It can work. You just have to make sure that you ask the right questions. Don't just blindly send friends and family, oh, here's money, and then like, hey, where's my figure?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you guys are correct. I mean, just be careful. Getting those like in the second market figures. I mean, again, as I said earlier, it's a hard-earned money. So yeah, and it's everyone's correct, guys. You guys are correct. Just make sure that everything is there. Especially, actually, even if you open it and then everything is there, but when you check the articulation, because sometimes there are some, let's say there are some sellers that they don't want you to touch it, right? Like because of course, if you're not gonna buy it, then why you going to touch it? I mean, like, but then yeah, sometimes the articulation you could, ask him like, "Hey, can you move the articulation?" Because sometimes it's loose, I mean, the figure is nice, but when you touch the figure, oh, the arms, the legs, something, there's a problem, like loose. Of course, you have to find extra body, which is quite hard to find the extra body for that figure, right? So it's not because there's a specific body for each figures. But then yeah, you have to ask that, like, can you move the figures if everything's there, but if there's any problem with inside, then because that's the other one that's hard to check. I mean, like, if even if they showed you, oh, everything's complete, but then once you touch it, oh, it's kind of loose. Oh, what am I gonna do? And some inside part, like, let's say the clothes, the suit, some there's problem. Like, of course, he probably didn't see it too, and you cannot see it too. But then once you check, oh man, how can I fix this one? So it's hard. Like, especially the suit, it's hard to find a customize, so yeah, that's the one thing that you have to check too. So not
Yep.
only the parts, not only the accessories, but the articulations, because
Very
that's
important.
yeah, right. I mean, like, well, you could standard the figure, but then for
Because then
me,
the joint is, you don't want to be like all like, oh, it's loose there, and then you're like,
yeah, I mean, like
yeah.
me, I'm enjoying like just like
Eh,
standing museum pose, but then sometimes it's more fun when you try to play the figure, and then you want to see it, like, doing some poses, like, wow, this is nice.
Well, and I'll be honest with you guys. What Regan is saying, Lane, is something that I do. I don't know if you're one of those pain in the butt buyers, but like, I'm a pain in the butt buyer for some people. Like, I would always tout Hawkwar's toys, and Ray will tell you I will ask him questions, especially if it's one of the used ones, saying, "Hey, are the knee joints okay? Are the arm joints okay?" You know, yes, tested them. If someone would tell me I don't know, I would actually respond back, "Oh, okay,
Mhm.
thank you." I would say, "Can you test them?
Well,
Otherwise, I'm not buying them."
I, as a seller, learned my lesson painfully. Uh, learned my lesson painfully one way back when I was like first starting collecting, because as I have been made fun of sometimes on Geeking Out and other stuff, I bought, because I thought it looked neat, I bought the Beauty and the Beast figure, a belt, that was, I'm making sure I don't get this, it was Emma from Harry Potter. I get Emma, was it Emma Watson?
Yes.
Okay, that one of her, and I had her for a week and just went, I don't know why I bought this in my collection. I bought it from somewhere on Facebook.
You bought it because it looked, you wanted it.
I thought it looked like
it.
her. Yeah. So I learned the hard way, because I didn't really pay attention to all the accessories and other things like that, or I didn't really look at the body around under the dress or anything like that. So I decided to sell it. I sent it to someone because they had to have all the pieces, and I said, yeah, I didn't really think about it too much when I was, because I hadn't really listed them before, like those kind of figures. Sent it to the person. They were super excited. I was at work and I got a thing, and they sent me pictures of, this isn't what you told me it was. And there was issues, like there was, the body was partially scratched. I had just like put her in, looked at it, put her into the case, and that was like kind of the end thing. I didn't really check everything out. I was wondering, like, for the candle guy, who I'm forgetting right now what his name is, like, didn't have his base and stuff. And I felt so bad because I hadn't even really thought about it or something, honestly, that much. So the guy was just like, I was not just ghosting him. So, and the unfortunate thing was, some of the money I had gotten for that figure had already been aside to help like pay some taxes back that I owed money for. But so I ended up, he just basically said, I can swap the body out, because he, owned these figures, a lot of them, for years. So I refunded him half the money. I, like, that day after he got it, and he sent me all these pictures of what was wrong with it. Within, like, he was, that evening when I got home, I refunded him half the price for it. And he was just like, okay, he's like, you've been responding and you dealt with this like the same day, didn't try and BS me or anything like that. So you paid me 50% back. That's good. I'm good with it because the rest of the stuff is fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
The head sculpt's good. All that's fine. And we got it resolved. But I learned the hard way there. Make sure whether you're buying or selling, make sure you check everything and you put specifically how you're going to put it, whether it's on eBay, because I've sold on eBay before, never had a problem, or in a Facebook group.
Well,
you check all that before you do it.
And then Doug Collector's right. Avoid people that ask if it's still available.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And then the collector goes, ravishing Rick Rude would be canceled today.
Yeah, well, he would call us all YouTube sweat hogs.
Wizard. Okay, I did it there. Dude, where's the figs? What's up, guys? Glad to catch this live. Also cool to have Regan on the channel. Yes, awesome to have MRC Collection Ventures in here, and awesome to have you. Dude, where's the figs?
Regan just knows how cool he is.
Absolutely. And Boogie Nights, Roller Girls. We're talking about some awesome things here in the Cantina for sure. One of the other things, Brent, I will go to you, that, you know, I find it for sellers sometimes that get frustrated that, hey, I can't sell a figure on the Facebook group for the price I'm looking to sell it for whatever reason. I don't want to report it in the, I'm not saying it's a reason, but there's a lot of reasons. You know, if you're looking at friends and family, you don't have to deal with taxes. You don't got to deal with the eBay fees. You don't got to deal with this PayPal fee, whatever the heck it is that you're doing. But sometimes on those guilds, you go to the Facebook group not to spend $1,000 on a Dark Side Anakin, you know, or $1,200 or $1,600. You're going to go to eBay to do that. You're going to try to go to the special guild, the Facebook group, meet someone in the parking lot to maybe get a little bit of a deal, like I did that Vital Cape Jawa. However, sometimes everybody that's in there is looking for a deal. So, you know, you're looking to get what Hawk Wars Toys, for instance, is going to get, you know, or for even, you know, way beyond, like, you know, one of these figures that just come out are on there. Sometimes you're going to have to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. Put it on Mercari. Put it on the Facebook group. Do it like the comic shops do, because sometimes it's hard to get it for that price, depending on the figure, unless you put it in those platforms of where the value is what it is.
No, that you absolutely nailed it. I mean, I think people, you know, need to absolutely be thinking strongly about where they want to look and where they want to buy these figures. I mean, there's nothing wrong, obviously, with buying a lot of these figures on some of these platforms like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or some of these other places. You know, especially if the price is right, but you're going to want to see that piece.
Dude, is there Hot Toys on Craig? You mentioned Craigslist. I'm like, that's going to be a new thing. I've never looked.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're there. No, they're
well,
there.
Really? On Reddit.
I've never looked on Craigslist.
Listed too.
So is vintage Star Wars from the late
What?
70s.
Craigslist.
Get it there. Absolutely.
Maybe the Hot Toys wizard is sending me subliminal messages on Craigslist. And I got, you know, goodness, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
I never even thought you'd find a hot toy on Craigslist.
Aries, my brain is still trying to process that you said you bought an old 70s Star Wars action figure for the same price as a Prime 1 statue.
No, let me tell you, that's a deal. Yeah, but
I'm not doubting it, but I mean, I was just like, I just added up in my brain for a second. Was like, what's the equivalent?
Those vintage Star Wars mint on card. I mean, they've went to plat.
You're making me think
they're so far beyond. It's crazy.
You're making me think I made a very bad idea that I gave my vintage Y-wing Starfighter from Return of the Jedi still in the box to my 3-year-old nephew at the time.
All right, look, Craig's list is booty bot home base. All right, listen, let's go to this, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is the new Iron Man Mark 7 open armor version. They're calling it diecast series here. And I find this to be very, very extraordinary, to say the least, with this right here. This came out last night, I believe. It was.
Mhm.
Regan, what did you think of this when you saw the pictures? I mean, I think this looks amazing in the fact that you could put the figure in there and then take it out. But what do you think about this when you first saw it?
Well, I think I first saw this like few years ago, like 4 years, and I was actually really excited to like to Hot Toys to really launch this and
Hmm.
sell it. But I think that was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. But then it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe they have a lot of figures that making, so that's why it didn't happen right away. So yeah,
So
I
it was a
mean,
long time ago that they showed that they teased this.
yeah, yeah, and then at least now finally they did it. I mean, like, this at least die cast, because I thought it's gonna be like plastic, because you have to articulate all the parts, all the armors, like you gotta open it.
Hmm.
So but then yeah, I mean, like when I saw it in Secret Base, it looks incredible. I mean, the details inside, but I don't know why it's kind of like how to say that, like it's kind of like the weathering is more like used, not clean, instead of cleaner look inside, because here in the
Mm.
pictures, of
It
course,
looks
there's a
used.
light.
Mhm. Has a
Yeah,
light.
it's more like you could tell, like it looks like it's more like a shiny
Hmm.
paint
Hmm.
application that they put inside. But then
Hmm.
when I saw it in the Secret Base, it's more of like vintage. I mean, like, the look inside is quite more like more rusty, kind of like that.
I would think.
Like,
Did that surprise you, or how did that look in person when you saw that look where it looked a little
well,
rusty,
well,
weathered?
it's somehow like it. I thought it's good. I mean, like, of course the details looks really nice, but then I just suddenly realized, like, it should be like more. Well, I think, yeah, this is workshop. I don't know. I forgot. I forgot. Maybe when Tony's making his armor, they make it more look like a prototype thing, so not the not his final armor, kind of like that. But then inside, should be more shinier. I mean, like, I don't know, if you're going to ask me. I mean, more like cleaner look.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
uh, it's still, absolutely, it's still incredible. It looks good, inside. The details, those a little bit scratches inside. Um, the lights, I'm really impressed with the LED lights. It looks really nice. I'm really
So let me
excited.
with the LED lights real quick. Do you think that when you light it up like in this picture, will that hide the weathering, the rust look like you're saying? Do you think the light does, and then when the light is off, it's there, or do you think the light
Yeah, 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 yeah.
disguises?
When you turn it on, the LED, you will see those weatherings. I mean, we could turn it off. I mean, like, but it's better to open it. I mean, it looks really good when it's open. But then when you turn it off, and then you're not gonna see the details. I mean, we probably not gonna, unless you have extra light, aside from that, LED lights
Hmm.
inside.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I don't know. I mean, like, I really want to see the final look of this. I mean, like, I'm really excited, because I have the workshop figure too. So hopefully, they will release it early.
yeah,
It looks
and
really good.
I think
Yeah.
what makes this great, Regan, is the fact of it. The die cast looks like there's even a bigger another view. Wow. Um, so let me go to you, Lane, with with this figure from what Regan's comments here is talking about this lighting effect. He said, he got to see it closer at Secret Base, and I did, Regan, see that video that you put out this morning, and everybody here in the chat. If you didn't get a chance to see MRC Collection Ventures actual preview of this. He went to secret base, was able to take the video. I absolutely urge you to go check it out. After the show, and check out how MRC took these great videos. But what do you think of this lane and the fact that it has weathering in there, has this lighting effect, and it's all die cast?
I think it's really good. I think it's especially you're talking about just the detail on the inside. We've seen, Hot Toys has really been doing a lot of really good, some of their detail. The Mysterio Iron Man, the kind of the zombie undead looking one, the detail on that one that just now is in stock and stuff is insane. So I'm not surprised they were able to pull this off. Now, I think it looks cool, but I do see the drawbacks to this figure because it's more of a static diorama piece, not a figure as much. I don't know, Regan, of how you think. I really think this should come with the Tony Stark. Like it needs a Tony Stark separate figure, kind of like since it's sort of part of the kind of the line with that Mark V, the armor up. To me, that's the suit of all of them ever. Almost makes up for kind of an armor up version of it, since it's the suit on the go, like literally. But also the Silver Centurion, where it has a little bit of movement and stuff like a figure. I like this, but I feel like it should have a Tony Stark with it, like the armor up has him in the race suit. Since there aren't too many, you barely have any options for if you just want a Tony Stark. He may not even go into it, but you have him with it because the price point on Sideshow for this thing is $365.
And that's without that's just with what you're getting
without any Tony Stark figure. There's no Tony Stark with this at all. The design and everything they've done to it is great. I also like the fact you can close it up if you don't have Mark 7, because obviously that one's been sold out. This one you can close up, even though it doesn't have movement really to it and everything. You can,
but you could put a Tony Stark in it if you have a or can't you? You think?
No, I don't. That you would have to maybe ask Regan, who's seeing in.
Are you paying a premium for all the light up effect? I mean, that's got to be a part of it, right?
Is Regan, did they show for this if it's USB powered?
Yeah, it is USB powered.
Okay, so that takes care of a lot of my concern with it and stuff. I figured it.
So this is the whole thing is USB powered.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's a cool. I would assume I thought something like that since it's a diorama. It's like almost something like a power pose type of thing. Not quite even that far. I think it's a neat thing. I think the price point's a little bit high since it doesn't. I mean, even though it's coming out, I realize like a year later, so inflation, and other stuff has happened. For $350, you can get the Mark V with a Tony Stark figure that has some movement to it, and that's the regular edition. The deluxe that comes with the actual articulated suitcase and stuff. That's $405, so it's more expensive, but it's hard for me as part of. So Regan, is this like an official subline or something as far as with Hot Toys? Like this armor up, since there's this one, the Silver Centurion, even though it's kind of a solid-ish figure, and then this one, like this is a kind of a armor up version. Is it part of that, or is it kind of more since, like you said, it's a little bit older and been shown before, like it's just kind of an older Iron Man thing?
You mean like the line?
Is this like kind of a line actually of the armor up Iron Mans? Because you've got
it looks like
Mark V, Silver Centurion, and I guess this one.
Yeah, actually, I think they're making that. Like starting with the Mark V, now this one, and then what's the other one?
Silver Centurion.
Yeah. That's Silver Centurion.
Because he's not fully like one piece thing, even though it's more like a figure that moves and stuff like that. Yeah, so to me,
and Lane, but what's interesting, real quick, just to pause in and jump in, when you talk about like the Lizard diorama base, which is awesome, but this one being all die cast with this lighting effect and the fact that it is, Regan saying USB. I know it doesn't come with the Tony Stark figure, but I don't know, it's pretty like look at this. This is pretty damn cool to put on a shelf. But does the die cast and lighting Lane, you think, maybe make it?
Oh, the die cast I'm contributing to it for the price. Yeah, it's. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just I think you're going to have to be. Now,
it does seem a little high now that you're mentioning it, but I don't know how much the lighting. I don't know. It's interesting. It's a good point.
Yeah,
But that's how you would pose it, though, right? Because it's all about the internals. You would almost
that's the only one he
Oh,
can.
so you could close this here? You can close it.
Yeah, you can close the back.
So maybe that's why it's
it can still be like, that's why I was saying, if you have a Mark 7, you don't have that, but this might be an alternative where you could just seal it in the back, and if it's just going into the Modu case with the Mark 7 kind of thing, or if they have the house protocol thing, this might be something that fits into that if you already own it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good thing here that you could close it up. This looks pretty sweet. And the fact that it comes apart that way, Brent, is pretty cool toy, I think.
Well, I think it's great.
Added some rotating base, right? Like
did they?
USB, right? Like when you turn it on, it's gonna go around like something like that. Like,
did they include that, Regan?
Right?
Does it come with that kind of base? Or
no, I mean, like, I hope they will. I wish like they really add that. That would be cool. I mean, because you have to see the whole figure, and when it's open and then in the front, the back. I mean, like, if you
that
go
would be
display
cool. Like to have
right?
it like spin, like kind of.
Yeah. At least
That would be the way
around,
to pose it for sure, Regan. You're right, to have it
right?
spin so you can see it. Yeah. But this makes me think, and again, I don't think this will happen, but man, would I love to see it. If we're going to do this open back, show internal type thing, wouldn't it be cool to see a 1/6 scale Darth Vader like this?
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit.
Now, I know I was circling back to Star Wars, but my goodness, to see what the workings and inner workings are inside of that, it would be, if Hot Toys is dropping the gauntlet on something like this, I mean, maybe that's something that could be eventually down the pike. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the inner. I mean, it looks so good. I know Lane, like Brent was saying, the inside of Darth Vader. I know Lane would like to see the inside of this guy.
You're delicious.
Ciao, boys.
I got FOMO for my pizza, Lane, which is going to be later tonight. At any rate.
Hopefully not trying to eat you instead.
I don't think I'm that delicious, baby.
Yeah.
Although I do drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Eric and I were talking a little bit earlier today. Like I said, it would be a cool Darth Vader. What this kind of we were a little bit led to is like if they actually, I don't know about the internals as much, but what if they actually, like we see Darth Vader get put together basically out of the back to tank in episode 2.
Oh, yeah,
is if they were able to do I don't know if in a back to tank or something, but if they were able to do like an assembly suit type of thing for Vader, where he had maybe like the upper body showing or something like that with these scarred, and you could put the pieces together kind of for him and see how they all go together on him. Like, I don't know if the engineering would necessarily work for that, but that would be something like a really awesome Vader.
That would be cool. And back to time.
Oh, it'd be amazing. I mean, it would just be an absolutely amazing Star Wars 1/6 scale figure if they would do something like this.
Do you think that would work easier, maybe quarter scale though, if they were trying to do something like that with the bigger size?
I mean, possibly. I think we pay for it, just like Commander Crook is saying here. If it came with like talking about this, if it would come with a Tony figure, he'd be willing to pay $550.
Well, it's still Mark 7, one of the most popular. Like this is one of the most popular suits of all of them. Maybe other than the Mark 85, when he does the finger snap. I think this is maybe the most iconic suit. Although I really like Mark. I mean, there's so many Iron Man suits. There's a lot of ones that you can like for different reasons, depending on the moment or just the suit. But like Mark 7's my favorite.
Yeah, but Alistair McCrae says here, guys, 300 plus light up statue, pass.
Yeah,
I get it.
There's going to be a lot of people who pass on this.
Now, is it really just can you play with this diorama at all or no?
I think it's one solid piece, pretty much.
It's
Except
just
for
such
the
a
back
nice
parts.
diorama. And yeah, but the
It's all
lighting,
about the internals. It's all about the internals. You want to display the internals, and if you want to pay the price point to do that, you do it. I mean, that's it. You know.
yeah, it does look so sweet. For sure. Okay, so here is that base. So I wonder, did you see the base, Regan, when you were at Secret Base? I'm to try and blow it up a little more. It almost looks like it does rotate, but I guess it doesn't. But that would be cool.
Because it looks like you attach it
Yeah.
right there on those 2 points on
Maybe
on
it
the
looks
base.
like it does rotate, right? Or maybe I don't know. That would be great if it did, man.
You can see where you attach it right there. Is the 2 little parts
Yeah.
that are sticking out right there.
But I see that round. I wonder if it like would spin. I don't even know. That would be like probably so expensive to make it like turn like a turntable.
Yeah, unless we're gonna change the base, and I would probably just get the outer part, and then you could put some, or you could buy some small rotatable like base there, like yeah, if you could customize by yourself, customize by yourself, yeah. But it's hard, it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard, but then it looks really cool. Really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. Regan, are you gonna get this? Is this something that you're gonna get for your
Yeah, I
collection?
pre-ordered this one. Yeah, I
um,
pre-ordered this one. Because I like Mark 7. It's one of my favorite armor.
mhm.
So yeah, actually, I'm thinking to get another what's this, like a Mark 7 diecast, because I have only one, and I want the other one to make the pod look, the pod version. So I want it to be like that, and then the other one like full armor, and then this one, no, like looks really cool. That's one of my favorite armor, Mark 7.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's good to stand beside the workshop if you have the workshop version, the mechanic workshop. Yeah, the what's this, like with Tony Stark,
hmm
and then with those whole of armor.
yeah. I would think that a lot of Iron Man fans, with all the Iron Man figures out there, that this is going to sell. Do you guys know? Is this up on Sideshow yet or no?
Yeah, it's 365.
All right, so I'm actually going to go to this on Sideshow and see.
I
If it's
figure we
pulling
would be
up. Here
stopping
we
by
go.
eventually so we can see like bestsellers for Star Wars or something, how they're doing.
Absolutely. But wow. So here's the thing that's interesting. Still putting the word October 2023 in here, although they're giving themselves 6 months, but this will make 40 for wow. For 2023. We're gonna go. It's either 39 now, 39 or 40 6-scale pieces. Gosh, for
Marvel
2023 from Marvel. That
It's gonna
is
come out
absolutely
2023.
crazy. Say that
I don't
again.
buy this. This is gonna be 2023.
I don't think it's gonna come out by the
Not for
2023,
these.
because
They can't. Yeah, right. That's a good call. I mean, you think it's going to come out later, right, Regan?
yeah, no, because when I bought when I was there, I think I'm one of the first customer when I saw they posted it, and then I was there already at Secret Base, and then they said like it's around 2024. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
not
this
yet.
has here 2020 October 2023 to March 2024. I would
Yeah,
lean more towards this is definitely going to be
yeah,
in
me too.
2024.
Hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, and we'll go to sixscalecantina.com, guys. And for those that are watching in the chat, if you don't have sixscalecantina.com bookmarked, you just may want to consider doing so. It has not only all the news on Six Scale Cantina, which you can see right here, baby. There it is. There's the dark side of the moon, us and them. And we're talking about that Iron Man diorama base for the Mark 7 right there. We're going to be getting into a couple of other things going on to the left of this banner right here. But actually, if you scroll to the very bottom, of the biggest mover section.
Whew.
38. So that would be
I just
39. Technically, it would be because they're listing it October, November, December, but I think it's going to push in. I actually put in here, Regan, too many to list. I can't list them all for 2023. 18 for Star Wars, I can list those, but there's no way they're going to put out. I mean, that's 39. That's 39, guys. That's like, that would be 39. That's crazy.
Dang.
Well, hey, Aries, quick thing to everybody in the chat. Right now, we got 77 people watching. We got 41 likes.
Let's get those
would
likes
really
to
appreciate it.
77.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you could, and you just joined us here recently, please feel free to hit the like. It helps mucho amount. We would really appreciate it. And then also hit bell notification. And then as an insider myself, I can tell you that is something you can look at too, which has more information on his page here about.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for that. I do have the last week, and we do have quite a few of Cantina insiders on here, and I do a lot of shows. I also do live shows. Like last week, I did a live show last Sunday, Hot Toys versus the World. It was absolutely epic. We had a full house. The week before that, we had another show on that we did. The week before that, we did Dark Sisters, all kinds of unboxing. There will be an insider show tomorrow. You'll have to stay tuned to see what it's going to be, but it'll be another brain-twisting blockbuster. All you have to do, besides believe, is just hit the join button, like Lane said. See everything that it comes with. The Dark Jedi appreciates the support. Thank you so much, dear Lane.
Tully, I think that is a good. I think that might work for us choking the like button, but we want it to still work and not end up like Captain Nita, and then then we're gonna have to accept your apology after if it breaks.
Really, I mean, Lane, do you realize what you just did? I mean,
yep.
Did you?
It was on purpose.
You really had to mention Captain Nita.
Apology accepted, Captain Nita.
Well, see, I'm glad he caught the cue on that one, because when I said he was actually perhaps a reincarnated clone of Palpatine earlier in the thing, he played the wizard, which I appreciated, but I was hoping he would get the cue that there was a certain other bit that he was supposed to play.
I didn't get the cue.
From table 66.
Oh, from table 66. I don't think we filled it up yet today, baby.
No, we haven't.
But it's so good.
Good.
That's what I was hoping he was going to get the cue, but I became the wizard again. But
you became the
we got to
wizard
see
again.
it now. So everybody at table 66 has what they need.
Regan, I'm going to go back to you here. I put this little section, Regan, at 6scalecantina.com, just so people could get some, I do a lot of work here so people can see what's coming out for Marvel, for instance, and for Star Wars. It's really just a comparison. I put Star Wars versus Marvel. It's not about verse, as if the word comparison is very long. Just to put that comparison in there. But you can see now with that Iron Man figure, Regan, it'll be 39 pre-orders in 2023. They have a few of them that are saying October 2023 to March 2024. But how many of these do you think realistically, Regan? I mean, let's just be honest. You've been doing this a long time. We got 39. How many they're going to push out to 2024 that are supposed to come out for Marvel in 2023? What do you think?
Well, right now it's actually the shipping now it's still a little bit slow. There's a bit traffic in the factory in China, so probably some because I'm surprised sometimes there are some figures that they release that a bit earlier than you expect, like 1 month earlier, or let's say 2 months earlier, but some probably if they're having a hard time to, I don't know, like fix it because there's so many, so much details inside, so probably gonna be delayed. Just probably not that long, but I mean, for other country, I mean, like outside Hong Kong, it's a little bit
Yeah,
later, you know,
it'd be a little bit
just
later for the countries outside
yeah,
Hong Kong. Yeah.
yeah, compared here in Hong Kong. Then, yeah, I mean, probably just a month, just 1 month delay, 2 months, but I think should be on time. When they said like 2023, I think now it's getting better because the shipping is getting smoother because the pandemic probably
They've caught
uh
up somewhat. Yes.
yeah.
It's getting better. Yes.
Yeah, it's getting better now. So yeah, hopefully by next year. So I mean, I hope it's not like one time, like, because sometimes it's hot like that. Like they're gonna release the figures like, okay, 5 figures is out today, and then come, like they're gonna like, "Oh, wait, what? One by one." I mean, like, it's too much, I mean, like,
It's a lot of coffee spilling.
yeah, a
Hey,
lot.
Aries, I have a question. Okay, I'm looking at your data here. 39 pre-orders for Marvel, 18 for Star Wars. Has Marvel had a number one bestseller yet in 2022? Or has Star Wars always had at least one piece that has always been at the top throughout the year as we wrap up the 8th month of the year?
No, I think Marvel has, and if I remember correctly, I believe what Marvel had at number one, going back and forth, was Spider-Man.
Okay.
One of the Spider-Man figures. But it was
Classic
always
too.
neck and neck with one of the Star. There have been multiple different Star Wars number ones, but I think the only number one, and Lane, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Spider-Man that was
Yeah, the
number one.
classic suit Spider-Man was
Yeah,
like the top, that looks like his from
yeah,
the game, his old suit. I own it. Oh, I love that Spider-Man. But that guy was the top Marvel seller for quite a while. I
yeah,
think they made a lot of that guy.
yeah. But I don't remember like Thor or Doctor Strange or any. No, none of them were at number one like Vader is, or the Bespin Luke DX25, or that Spider-Man that we're talking about, or Cad Bane, for instance.
I just find it interesting that you have almost a 2-to-1 here with Marvel and Star Wars, yet Star Wars seems to have the majority of the bestseller number ones that have the sustainability at that level.
Well,
It
well,
just fascinates me.
I think the fascinating thing about it, you have to wonder: is it possible that part of the reason you're seeing that is because of this onslaught of this little guy? And obviously, that was table 5 in 88, filling up 808 Michigan Jedi and T.Y. Popsick. But also this guy at table 2.
This is the way.
Which has changed things, Brent, because
Yeah.
that on top of COVID, those two guys, Mandalorian and Grogu, have turned Star Wars completely around. And then right before COVID put a lot of craziness on that. And before COVID, everyone remembers, I got to play the clip now. What's this?
Fulfill your destiny.
So
He fulfilled his destiny, all right.
there was a lot of stuff for them to get through. And so I think now what you're starting to see, now that The Last Jedi is over, they didn't want to make any more figures from there. No more figures from The Rise of Skywalker at that time, anyway, And then COVID came about, but now The Mandalorian came. Now Grogu came. Bada boom, bada bing, one thing after the other. Now Hot Toys realizing, wow, these Star Wars figures are selling. So I think that they're putting out a lot. And I don't think that 18 is going to be all. And these are just 6 scale, not including the quarter scale. I think that there's going to be Regan. I was bringing this up to you when you first came on the show, and I think that both Lane and I heard some thoughts maybe that there could be some figures that are going to be announcements coming for Star Wars here over the next couple weeks, and I really been thinking that there would be, but I think we're going to get some more Star Wars announcements that'll go into 2023. I was thinking somewhere around 25 is probably they won't go up to 30 or 38, but I think they'll go up to 25, 27 that they'll try and squeeze in 2023. So I think it has to get busy over the month of September for them to do that, Regan.
Yeah, or probably more, like 30. Because yeah, it's coming. Yeah, September, probably 2, 3. Because Obi-Wan, right? Remember, like
We still have
yeah,
the other Inquisitor, Riva.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that she's coming, so we know
yeah, she's gonna
that's an
come out.
announcement.
I mean,
That
yeah.
would be probably. I wouldn't be shocked if she gets announced if they do follow through with the Toy Sapiens event thing. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets announced at that. Maybe you think Attack of the Clones. Oh, one thing, Aries, I was going to say one thing just real quickly. I did appreciate you having the number 1 slot there for on the upcoming Star Wars figures. You had Axe Waves there instead of Axe Woves.
Oh, Axe Waves.
Yeah, because it's Axe Waves. All right. Anyway, sorry. Bad pun, guys. The puns are dead for the rest of the night, I promise. But maybe Attack of the Clones. I mean, these are things they've said, other stuff. I don't know if something like that, but if it's that, I could see that, especially if it's a big deal. I don't know if they'll announce 5 in one day, which would, I know for the content creators would probably appreciate it because it gives you a couple weeks to talk about stuff. But maybe that could be like another thing too that could be upcoming. Maybe they'll announce.
I think Riva drops this week. I think we see her by Tuesday.
I think that's very, very possible. I'm going to put this up onto the screen. This is another image that someone sent me. And listen, you can follow me in 6 Scale Cantina, not only here at 6 Scale Cantina, the YouTube channel, but I've got the link to the Facebook group, 6 Scale Cantina. We've already got 910 members on the Facebook group. We're only 90 away from 1,000. So go ahead and go, join there in the Facebook group. We get a lot of stuff like this that gets posted in there. You can also follow me on Instagram. I put a lot of stuff on there when I'm feeling froggy. But yeah, Brent, you're right. Look at this shot of Riva. She looks fantastic.
Yeah, that looks amazing. That is an incredible photo, and it's so great that you were able to capture that somewhere. But that figure is a must, and I will be pre-ordering that for sure. And yeah, she looks amazing.
I can safely say I will not be pre-ordering that figure.
No, you will not be.
No, I think the figure is going to be awesome, but I did not like the character at all. I did not like how the writing was done for her character. That being said, I have bought some figures for like I got the Taskmaster, which has been one of my favorite figures, and I've been shilling it all over the place. People should buy it. There are some times where you can look at the figure, and if it just really is that good, like when it comes out, that sometimes you're like, you know what, I'm going to get this a complete part of my line. I can look at it for the figure, not necessarily worry about in some of the source material and stuff. It looks with Vader and the Grand Inquisitor there, or Mr. He who takes it in the chest. They together with Vader kind of looming over them look really good. See, this is part of the problem with the Inquisitors and stuff in Obi-Wan is they were really good at standing there and looking like that. The problem was,
this looks good.
Do anything else other than stand there and looking like that arguing with each other.
Look at how massive Vader looks behind him. It looks fantastic.
This Riva may be the last offering, guys, we get from Obi-Wan. I don't know. Do they go beyond and do the other Inquisitors or not?
I say yes.
Do you? Okay.
I do. I really do. I actually think, believe it or not, Brent and guys, I don't think we're done with the Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, we're not, because they talk about that N1 Starfighter, but they already showed you the Mandalorian, and Grogu that's coming from the book of Boba Fett. But I don't think we're done. I think we know we're going to get Cobb Vanth. I think we're going to get Black Chrysanthemum. I think even though she's still in stock, you're going to laugh. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Narborough, because we're going to get that heavy infantry Mandalorian officially announced with the shield. But no, I really think with here, you're going to get all the Grand Inquisitors. You're going to get another Vader. I was talking to you about that earlier today, Lane. I think you're going to get another Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And I think you're sure as hell going to get a Stormtrooper.
Yeah. I'm of the opposite mindset that with my thing. I think Reva is probably, I think she's going to be the last one. However, I could see the outside thing where if like there was a 6-figure to the line, if the outside shot, I think I would personally like to see them do is do the Anakin, either the Anakin, Jedi Temple Assault version of him, or like the duel between him. Like I would like to see them do the Anakin and Obi-Wan in their Jedi outfits from the flashback scene where we saw them dueling in episode 5, I think, or was it 4, where they were dueling with each other. Like those two figures to be done. I would love those as a 2-pack as kind of the capper. Like that'd be the 6th and final capper to the series. Aries may be right. We may get everyone. I'm not disagreeing with you. I do not have the Hot Toys Wizard or my Magic Crystal Ball. I think Reba is probably going to be the last one just because they've got on their schedule. But if we got a 6-1 or something like that, I would like a 2-pack of Obi-Wan and Anakin from that episode, from that flashback tour.
Listen,
that's what I would like.
Well, not only that, what about the young Princess Leia?
Mm-hmm.
What about Lane, Bail, or
They call him the Wizard.
Well, I'd like that, or my other one would be the the Obi with his Jedi robes from like the last 20 minutes or so of the last.
I think they're going to do that too.
That's the Obi one that I actually want. That's the one that I want. But.
So here's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
The show got tremendous ratings. It's Obi-Wan, it's Hayden Christensen. It was like a movie. So I think, and there's no movies for Star Wars out right now. So I think you have to wonder, is it possible that they milk these shows, which apparently they are doing with the figures that they're coming out with? And I think that it's possible that we can see them farm a lot of stuff, Regan, from this series. They might stop. I don't know. Nobody really knows. But I think that they have an opportunity to pull off different versions of Darth Vader, for instance, to pull off Regan different parts of Obi-Wan Kenobi, for instance, or some other characters for a reason to put out a figure. And with these lower productions that they've been putting out, like in Hong Kong recently for convention exclusives and stuff like that, these characters don't have to have big production numbers. That's what they've been proven lately.
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna, release. I mean, not only this, for sure, but then it's probably gonna take time. I mean, it's not, not probably not this year. I mean, Hot Toys is like that. Even the Rogue One, right? Imagine the Rogue One. I mean, like it's been like years, but then suddenly like they release another, Rogue character. So yeah, I mean,
you're right about the Rogue One, Regan, because
right?
Yeah, you don't know when.
I mean, like now, yeah, they're just gonna release these 3, or also Obi-Wan. Maybe just only 4 for this year, but maybe next year we don't know. Like if they have extra time for or extra slot for their artist, right? If they're going to make each character, I mean, like it's probably gonna go back to this series, and
yes,
also,
I hope so.
right? Because there's also if there's gonna be a season 2 for Obi-Wan, of course. Probably gonna release more. Of course, they're gonna take advantage of that, that series since it's already there. I mean, like maybe not everyone will buy Inquisitor or Riva, but then maybe they can get some. They could make some figures from Obi-Wan. Then they're gonna get profit from there too. Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah,
it's non-stop. Yeah, as
it's
long as
almost
right, as long as the star is hot. I mean, it's gonna be there until we're gone. Uh,
and hopefully we get some more original trilogy
exactly.
figures.
Yeah.
Some more
Exactly.
prequel. We're gonna get more Attack of the Clones. Right, Regan? I mean, that would be
Yeah, Attack of the Clones. Those, like still we're still waiting for Bespin Luke. And then
the
we're
Bespin
probably
Han. Yes, yes.
the Rogue One too. I mean, like through more. I mean, like upcoming Star Wars series. Man, there's a lot. I mean,
There's a
it's gonna be
lot.
nonstop. But at least I mean, it's fine. I mean, that's why we just have to wait. I mean, like of course we cannot really wait to complete the whole lines of Star Wars, but it takes time. But that's how collecting way. I mean, like you just have to wait and like enjoy first every figures, because sometimes you're gonna be overwhelmed if you got all the Star Wars line. It's sometimes you're gonna be like, oh, wait, which one to
I
play
can't
first.
get them all. I can't get them all, Regan. I say it all the time.
I know,
Like
I
Lane,
know.
like Lane
But then,
gets
like,
on me. He's like Aries, you're not getting these troopers, and I'm like, I can't. I don't do the troopers in Star. I can't. I
He will
can't.
fall to the trooper side. He just doesn't know it yet.
If it comes with a Morrison head sculpt, I will fall.
Become with a Morrison. So, are you going to be getting Clone Trooper Jesse?
I will get the one that comes with the head sculpt, which is
Clone Trooper
Jesse,
Clone
not
Trooper
Vaughn.
Jesse. Yeah.
Not Vaughn. Right. So no.
Yeah.
I'll get one. I'll get the one that comes with the head
Well,
sculpt.
do you have Commander Cody?
Of course, I got Commander Cody.
I'm just saying, because if you didn't have Cody, Vaughn is basically him.
But if Cody didn't come with a head sculpt, I would
taking a different spray paint can to his uniform. So then there you could go. You could say it's Cody second generation.
Well, I also got this guy.
There's a lot of clones of him running around.
He's very, very thirsty. So, Brent, you have to wonder. So here's the thing. This is very, very easy money for them, because if people are going to buy, like if I was going to buy Riva, which I am, and I'm going to buy the Grand Inquisitor, which I am, and this Darth Vader, which I am, if they put out the other two, the other freaking Grand Inquisitor that looks like Kung Lao or Raiden from Mortal Kombat, and then the other Grand Inquisitor, which I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, the fourth sister and the fifth brother.
The fourth sister, the fifth brother, the seventh grandmother, whatever the heck they want to call this stuff. There was if they put out the seventh grandmother and the 19th uncle, I'd buy them all, because it's going to go with this kind of picture. I'm like, oh man, I have to get it. I mean, I mean, honestly, Brent, with some of these exclusives, you have to wonder if they're like, yeah, let's just make 1,500 of them and it'll sell. I don't know. I don't think she's that popular. The other, but he's saying like the fourth sister or whoever. But if you're gonna buy these, you're probably gonna want the whole set, right? A lot of collectors like sets.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think people are going to want all the Inquisitors, and I'm like you. I'll probably get them all. And I think Riva is going to be a low printed. I think she's going to be. There's not going to be a whole lot of them. Just because of the backlash. I really believe that. I think that there's just not going to be a whole lot of them out there. So when that
Lane's not going to buy her. So that's one right.
And I think Lane's not alone.
Lane's not alone. Thousands of the Lane's fans.
Millions and millions of Lane fans across the world.
Here's my personal thing. All right. I went to C2E2 convention in Chicago a couple of weeks ago with my son. I met Moses. I talked to her for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And she is a wonderful human being. Mm-hmm. Wonderful human being. Mm-hmm. And I told her, I said, just don't listen to the noise. and she looked at me and she nodded.
Yeah.
And you know, I get it. You know, you're right, Lane. You're right. She feels shoehorned in. You're absolutely right. But you know, there's something about that character. I can see Disney eventually making a show about her. I mean, I can see it coming like a freight train in the middle of the night. And you know, what do you do then? You know, do you buy the figure now and invest in that now, or do you wait and it's gone? I mean, it's just, you know,
It's a good point. Yeah, no, it's a good point, Brent. And you and Lay, do you agree that, yeah, how many of these are going to make? I kind of agree with Brent. I don't think, because of everything that he's speaking about, this is going to be
No,
mass.
I don't think her or the Grand Inquisitor are going to be.
Oh, the Grand
massive.
Inquisitor either. You don't think so with the
I
Grand
know.
Inquisitor?
I don't think there's going to be tons of both these guys. I mean, the guys who are going to have a lot of figures made of them are the DX Vader and the DX Obi-Wan. Like that's the ones most of the people are going to be interested in. Now, for I mean, the one thing I'll say about that, I actually think probably there'll be more of Riva, despite some of the backlash, than there will be Grand Inquisitor, because Riva did something in the series, and Grand Inquisitor stood there and looked menacing and said, like, "Well, I'm the Grand Inquisitor and you're not." So there. So I'm gonna take credit, as he was doing his best Grand Moff Tarkin to Director Krennic impersonation. But I think the Riva figure here, the prototyping and stuff, I think what could help. I think both these figures are really good. Like the facial sculpts with them, they nail. So even if there's a little drop off from the to the production version, they're still going to look amazing. So my expectation is that I think both these figures, though, just in the sea of stuff. And also remember, other one of these, we're going to have Andor, which is a 12 episode broken up over 2 seasons. We've got Mando season 3. There's Ahsoka. I think the issue for these characters having not a lot, I think there'll be low print run, is because you're going to have 3 or 4. The same thing that happens, I think, is going to go forward with the MCU shows. There are so many shows, and they're going to have to parcel up how many figures and R&D and everything they put into each one of these. Like most people, if say this time next year or in the fall of in like 2023, 2024, if they're going to have to decide between Riva, who at that point they may have only seen in the one show, which is set in the past, versus the Mando timeline, which is kind of the now timeline that they're doing a lot of this in. Are they going to choose her? Are they going to get, longer Montails Ahsoka Tano from the Ahsoka show?
It's interesting. But the other thing about this too is how good is the head sculpt going to be, Regan? How good is this figure going to look? Because I think a lot of people sometimes buy Hot Toys just because it looks so good. I know people that would buy the Star Wars figures because it looks good. I know a lot of Star Wars fans saying, Aries, I bought this Marvel figure because I just couldn't. It looks so hot. This looks pretty, I'm just being honest, Regan. This looks really, really good. This picture I was able to get today from with this Hot Toy. And I actually think that this is probably going to come out. It wouldn't shock me if this is a Monday morning thing, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely correct. I mean, Aris, I mean, like the head sculpt looks really good. I mean, I'm really surprised. At least we got a chance to see it first before they finally launch it. Yeah, probably soon next week. Let's see. But because again, the picture looks really good. I want to see the actual look of it. I mean, like the details, um, the neck, probably. Yeah, I
The
mean,
lightsaber. They're gonna have
the lightsaber too.
Yeah.
Everything. I
See
mean,
if they
like
can.
who suits. I don't know if you're also gonna check
suit looks
the.
good. Suit looks
Yeah,
good.
the suit looks good, right? I mean, it looks
At
really
least
good.
lower body, it looks like she
Or
probably
the
should have
body,
some
yeah.
good
Actually, the
possibility.
body, yeah, it looks a little bit. I
Looks
don't
like
know.
it'll have good posability. Yes.
I
I could
think if
see.
there's going to be a season 2 of Obi-Wan, she's going to be in it. And it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if Obi-Wan and her team up and that's the
Uh,
adventure. I don't know what the storyline will be, but it
You'll
just
probably have Darth
feels
Maul
like
in it.
you probably will. You're right.
I
And
think
but I think she's going to be in it. And we're not done seeing her. So, but I do at the same time I think there's going to be a low print run of her. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think there'll be a low print run of her. I don't know. When you compare it to like Fennec Shand, who's going to go, on the arm of the throne with Boba Fett, they may make more of her. But then again, she does go really good with Vader here. But you could buy this Vader and have him pose with the Obi-Wan Kenobi. You really, when you buy Boba Fett with the throne, I think most collectors are going to want Fennec to go with that. Honestly,
I would agree with that. You're 100% correct. Just because of the end of Mandalorian season 2 with the Fennec pose
mm-hmm.
and just the mystery behind Fennec Shand. But I think at this point there's more deep story with Reva than there is with Fennec Shand. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
whether you like the story or the writing or not, we've been provided a lot more about Reva than we have with Fennec. But it just seems to be the reality right now.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting to see, but I am so pumped up to see how Reva is going to look, what the third sister comes with accessory wise, and you have to wonder, will they come out with more? I really, really think personally, we're going to get one of those shiny stormtroopers and possibly one of those troopers from that were in the sand with Obi-Wan and young Princess Leia as well. I think we can get a battle damaged stormtrooper because it's an opportunity where they could go ahead and do that.
Do they do a young Luke and Leia 2-pack, or is that just not
shit.
possible?
I know they've never done it before, but I really, really think that they're going to come out with a young Princess Leia for this. She was so pivotal for this role. I mean, I really, really do. I think that she did. And for them to say, oh, because she's young, they can't put out a figure of her, I don't buy that.
So
they haven't done it.
Do a Bail Organa with young Leia 2-pack.
Well, they did Princess Leia with a Wicket 2-pack.
Yes.
And the reason I'm saying that is because Wicket is a figure that they have that would be around the size, right?
You're right. Yes, that's a great argument. Yes.
But they haven't done it before is the other argument, right, Regan? They haven't done small children before, but there always is a first time for everything. So I'm wondering, because she was such a star in this show and she was very pivotal. She also had contact with Reva showed here. She had contact with Obi-Wan. Maybe there would be relevance to put out a figure of her.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, since this, the 6 scale figures are limited to only like 15 years old up. So I think that's the reason why Hot Toys holding back, to do this, to do a children or like figure, smaller figures, small kid figures. They haven't done it. I mean, like, I mean, if they really want to, they could have started from Anakin, young Anakin, right? Like really, young Anakin, bro.
Yeah, from the Phantom Menace.
That one's really, really nice too, to have. I mean, like, but then, yeah, I'm not really sure, but I really hope to. I mean, I mean, like that uh young Princess Leia and Luke. I mean, it's could be, great. I mean, hopefully, but yeah, that's I think that's our only uh gonna be our only. I mean, I don't know, like not problem, but then it's like we might gonna lose hope on, like, getting, a younger Star Wars character. So only, only if there's other like third party company who wants to make it, but then again, because of the age, bracket for this, this six scale figure, so that's why they're trying to, I know they're not really well. The Beauty and the Beast, um uh she's young but not that really young. It's more like teen.
Beskar Kid
Remember?
said, yeah, the Beauty of the Beast. They made a baby Luke. They did. I'm trying to think. Where did they make baby Luke?
Well, they made it in a
Oh, the
one.
Obi-Wan series.
They made it in. Well, they made it in a 3 3/4 figure. Remember, there was like a exclusive Obi-Wan holding him. Was
Yeah,
there
but not
another
that. But
one?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, the Obi-Wan Deluxe, right? From right, Regan, the Obi.
Yes, you're
Yes.
right. Yes,
Yes. Yes. So
I don't know, but that's
we're
more of
getting.
a. But that's more of a statue. I don't know. It's like a prop. I don't.
yeah, the face is not really clear. I would say, like, is it like it's just the half face? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So probably it's okay, but then like the whole figure. I mean, like whole kid figure. I mean, it's
I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, they typically don't.
I
But if
know.
they put it maybe with an adult, I don't know. Would have to
Yeah.
see. It's
Well,
interesting.
here's the thing. I think we are officially at a place where it's almost impossible not to make a Bail Organa. Would you guys agree?
He
Mm.
was in here. Jimmy Smits was in the show, and he's going to be on other shows. He was also in Rogue One, which are putting out more figures from Rogue One. He's also in Rebels. He's also in the Clone Wars. He's also in the Revenge of the Sith. He's also in the Attack of the Clones. So he's in quite a bit of stuff.
And
Jimmy Smits does the voice also in
We
the
may see him
animated
in
series.
Andor. We may see him in Andor.
Probably you will, and I'll tell you why you will, because of all the political intrigue with the Andor series and them going with the Senate. They probably have dubbed him in, hey, while you're coming to film Obi-Wan, come stop a couple times for this. So he's definitely, and I think it's like what Regan said earlier in the show. Regan was saying, hey, Star Wars, they could do anytime, maybe Rogue One, maybe a figure from, The Empire Strikes Back. And I think the same thing with Bail Organa. Like you said here, Brent, at any one of these shows or any one of these movies, they could drop them. They just could at this point.
Totally.
And one thing Aries forgot to mention is that not only is he a member of the Jimmy Smits fan club, he is also the president.
I am the general of the Bail Organa fan club, but I could be the president too. Absolutely crazy, but no, it's really, really interesting. Look, we've got 80 in here, and if we don't have 80 likes yet, you need to stop right now and pause, take your finger and hit the like button right now, and then in turn I will, I don't know, serve you up at whatever frickin' table you're at here at Six Scale Cantina. Do appreciate that support. All right,
Table
so I gotta
366 all waiting for their drinks.
Table 66 waiting for the drinks. Okay, I'm waiting for the likes. Hit the like, baby. Hit the like. So I am going to start here. I don't know who to start with this, but I want to talk a little bit about, real quickly, before we go back to that, cable. And I feel sometimes, and Regan, I'm going to start with you on this. Then we're going to go up here, and I put a little tab in here. I feel like Hot Toys should use you. And I'm not trying to pump you up. I mean, a lot of people, I have a lot of respect for what you do. You do a great job. You put out great videos, and really everyone puts out really good videos too. So does Sideshow. Guy Klender and Terry, they do a good job. I was actually showing a figure yesterday, just raw, and it looks good. But when these photos of Cable came out, a few of them looked awful. Like the Ray and Dio pictures when they first came out looked awful. Like some of the Lando figures when they first came out, looking at Star Wars, looked awful. And then all of a sudden, Sideshow puts out a video. Other people put out videos, and it looks much better. Let me put it to you that way: much better than what we thought. And I'm wondering if Hot Toys finally needs to do something with quality control on pictures, because sometimes I feel like they work too hard for a background, too hard for lighting, going up under the chin, which turned this way. I mean, I could take my Obi-Wan Kenobi Alec Guinness figure and make it look horrible by posing it and trying to get too cute with it. But honestly, this doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. And the pictures they were taking, it looked thin, but it doesn't look thin here now. And this is the background is Guy Klender's shirt, the guy from Sideshow. I mean, he looks pretty beefy in these pictures. And I almost wonder if Hot Toys needs to get some type of quality control to look at some of these pictures, because it seems like it happens several times a year where they put out these pictures and they don't look as good as someone just holding a figure like this and saying, here it is, nothing fancy. Do you like it or not? Go. This doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks good, actually. Yeah, without the suit, without his shirt, looks really good. Because in their display, right now, I cannot really see because I haven't get mine. I'm gonna get mine, so because I ordered a little bit late, so the production is not that much. So hopefully soon, but I think it looks good. I'm just kind of like what's this, like, worried about the head sculpt. I mean, like, it still looks great. It's just there's a little bit like odd on the mouth, on his lips. So
Yes.
but then but then the body, I said, yeah, it looks great. For me, the details, accessories, especially
But
his gun.
did you see the pictures? The first pictures that came out, they had a few ones that made it look like really odd, and there was kind
Yeah.
of like, and I feel like that they hurt themselves, and I'm almost like, why don't they? I almost feel like they should have a group of people that work for Hot Toys, and that they say, okay, let's look at these pictures. And it's not that the photographer's bad or someone, but I just think sometimes it's like you get like a group of people that are like, okay, what are we looking for? How do we want to make sure this looks like? And that they're like, oh, this doesn't look good, keep that one out, do this. Or you try to go fancy here. I almost feel like they should just put out a video like you, like, okay, here it is. Because I think they look good raw. And what I mean by raw, Regan, is just put the figure in your hand and show it like you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is the sideshow
video,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, probably the guy. I mean, like, whoever's doing it. I mean, he knows, or someone taught him how to do it. But I think I don't know. Maybe doesn't really know how to. I mean, like, I mean, it's not that he doesn't know, but then maybe
Yeah, like,
he
because
needs
these pictures
to
are
do
nice.
more.
Yeah. And it looks pretty close here. And I put in somebody's movie pictures here, Lane, to show, because I didn't see the movie, but I went in and watched all the Cable parts. And I was trying, and here with these pictures, it matches. Maybe even a little more beefier here, to be honest, but it matches to me. But like the pictures from when this was first released, Lane, it didn't match. It looked thinner. So what do they got to do to make sure when they put these things out, they don't cause an uproar?
Well, I think the body still looks a little emaciated, but I think that was actually done on purpose. You know, because
To
when
fit
you
in
see
the
him,
clothes?
yeah, with the clothes and how to look, because when you see him done up there, he looks just as thick as he did actually in the movie. So I think that might have been on purpose. Now, this body was originally made, so they weren't going to necessarily redo the entire thing over again. I think you were silly if you expected that because they had to make it from scratch. But I mean, the Winter Soldier had the same issue. The body's a little puny and stuff in it. So, but I think I'm considering buying Cable. I think he looks great though. But I think
He looked a lot better in the video. Is the point, right?
Or seeing like Justin's actual review of it or something like that.
Yeah, I watched Justin's review and it looked really, really good. But I was
he looks better. He definitely looks better.
Shocked with the comments where people were like, "Oh, now I'll buy it." But when I was looking at the pictures,
the
original
pictures are the problem. Like
these pictures are great, but these pictures are from me. All I did is I took little screenshots of the video from Sideshow here. Yeah. But I didn't go. I could show you guys the pictures, but they didn't look very good. These look good.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever not make the neck look a little bit long, but I mean, like I said, Winter Soldier had a long neck too. Then I don't.
Unlike me, I have the.
Well, you know, you're not the only but I think like this there. I mean, but my question would be: I know they added the extra detail, so you want to at least kind of look at all that with the techno-organic virus and stuff that he's got. But I mean, honestly, if like Aries, if you were picking this up, you know, you were just like, I just think this figure looks really cool because I love the detail in the body and everything, so I'm going to pick it up. You know, it doesn't go with some of my other stuff, but it just looks so cool. And
yes, but if they would have showed me this first, if they would have showed me this, I'd be like, okay. And yes, it's not going to be flawless or you know, and that kind of thing. But they showed me first.
He's fine. You know, he looks great when he's got all his stuff.
Right. But for whatever reason, and I didn't see, and I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
With Guy Klender, the whole damn thing. And I watched the whole darn thing of Justin's video. And I'll tell you, I did not see this, what we're looking up on the screen. I don't know what this is. Good. I mean, but when they put stuff like this out, it kind of turns people off. I mean, it almost looks like his head is all the way on his left shoulder, and that his right shoulder, you could put like a two-headed man on it, that there's room to put. It looks weird. But really what it is the angle and the way they have the waist twisted. And because they're trying to have that gun go all the way this way.
They're trying to recreate one of the...
So you look at this and it almost looks like it's a disaster. It's not any of our faults. But if I was Hot Toys, I'd be like, you can't put this through QC. I get what you're doing. That's like if I took my rolling eyes function in my Darth Maul, I made him cross-eyed like this. Of course,
that's good. Like, you know, some things. Remember when the Ahsoka, you know, the instructions pictures came out, the instructions, and some of the eyes looked weird and stuff. The way they looked in the instructions, and everybody went on the Clone Wars and so like, like this figure doesn't look, you know, from that instruction picture didn't look so good, and everybody started kind of go, what happened? You know,
it looks like it's out of it looks unproportioned.
You're right. You've got people who take the pictures, and then you've got a layer of people who need to vet the pictures.
Right.
And the layer of people who vetted the pictures failed.
Absolutely. And that's why you need, and it's okay for them to fail because we all make human mistakes, which is why, you know, it's the same thing with publishing. Writers, it's why you have editors, because sometimes you're going to not catch it, and you try to get a collective. Art is subjective. You're bending the shoulder all the way this way with that mechanical arm, trying to put the gun this way. It looks like it's cockeyed. He looks completely out of proportion. His head is all too weird with the body, because that's what the picture says. A picture doesn't lie. But then again, you have to wonder when you go back to the pictures I got, and that doesn't look bad there. That's one of the ones that they did good. But guys, when you go back to 6scalecantina.com and go to the little tab that I put on here next to the Marvel market chart under construction, the Hot Toys cable picks versus the movie. And all I did is I just took little screenshots, Brent, of freaking Sideshow's thing. I don't get any of that. I don't get that there. I don't get it here. I don't get it here. I don't get it there. I don't get it here. Yeah, maybe the neck could be long, but I'm just like shooting it.
That looks fine.
So the thing of it is they need to look at this and make sure it looks like a normal human before they put this out, because they shoot themselves in the foot. Remember when they first came out with the Ray and Dio, Brent, there were a couple of shots where people were like, Ray looks like Pinocchio. Yep. Now that figure's a grail. And then I remember Regan here in here, he did the Ray and a Dio review, and he's like, wow, the figure's amazing, and everyone loves the figure. It's great. The Lando too. The Lando pictures came out. They were Then all of a sudden the reviews come out. Oh, it's awesome. So I almost think they need to just do stuff like this. Stop getting too fancy, or have a quality control unit, Brent.
No, you're right. Quality control is key. I mean, that photo you showed earlier should not have passed muster. Who approved that? Who let that through? You're right. And you've got to be able to take a look at these pictures and make sure that they are delivering everything that you want them to deliver from every aspect, so that people will buy these figures and spend their money. And, the photos that you have right there, you're showing right now, look amazing. But that one that you showed, you're right. His head was sideways a little bit. It didn't look right. And that could be a deal breaker. And you don't want that.
Absolutely. And putting this up from Penny of Swan. What's going on, brother? Aries, you're thinking too much. You're probably right. By the time they come out, Hot Toys has already sold their stock, and bad marketing is Sideshow's problem.
Yeah, but
that's good, but it's fun. Very, very good. Very good.
But yeah, maybe for this particular figure, but I mean, that can affect future. Like, how many is Sideshow going to order in the future for figures that they may not be 100% sold on, or, or people are going to buy, because, we can make that particular thing, but Sideshow is an important partner worldwide for Hot Toys. So, they don't want to leave them holding the bag too much, because they already, as we've seen, the last couple of years, Hot Toys has had Marvel and Star Wars figures that have sat there for quite a while, that they've been having to put on sale or do other things to try and get rid of them.
No, good.
Regan, I'm interested in your take. What's your take? Do you see this?
Like, you mean this cable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me,
it looks. I feel like, Regan, that the pictures look pretty good.
Yeah.
But the pictures that they put out were a little weird. But but
they're just the pictures. It's just the pictures that they showed. As Brent said earlier. Sometimes I don't know. Like, they sometimes they add too much, background on their pictures. I mean, they should show really the raw pictures, like, not some, editing stuff. I mean, it looks nice, of course. It looks great to add those editing stuff, but then Hot Toys should really like show the real look of the figure, not only the like with the editing stuff and with the as what the Sideshow doing this pictures, like, looks good. I mean, like, should be like this, on the first place,
and that's why I think that they should use them, because when Hot Toys does, because Hot Toys releases these first, right, Regan, in Hong Kong, correct? So they contract out someone to take the pictures. So it's really, in my view, on Hot Toys' budget, not Sideshow. Sideshow's not in Hong Kong. They release these there, and they have the photographers take these pictures that put these out. Unless they're shipping it out to Sideshow, and Sideshow is using the bloggers. I don't know who's doing it. Whoever's doing the pictures when these are first released in Hong Kong need to do that. If it's Sideshow that's doing that, but it's putting it on the Hot Toys site. So I don't think it's Sideshow. I think that that's Hot Toys putting out the pictures, right, Regan? Because it's them.
Yeah,
They put it on their Facebook.
some bloggers, photographers.
So
Yeah, I mean, like, they should check. I mean, like, Hot Toys. Well, sometimes they're not gonna check. I mean, like, they're not gonna really approve as long as they saw the pictures looks good. Of course, the camera works. I think they're gonna just show it to to their Facebook page, and then I mean they're not really gonna check like how does it look like. I mean, like, you saw that that weird stuff on his neck when together with Deadpool. I mean, they're not really. I don't know if they still care about, like, those kind of look. As long as they see it like looks fine, then yeah, as you guys said, like, quality control, like, for the pictures too. And yeah, but then for me, they should really show the raw look of the figure rather than just putting, like, or like adding, you know
I feel like that's for like
uh,
you. Like you and these and Lane and other guys on Instagram and on their videos, they could put in backgrounds, all the wonderful pictures on Instagram, your channel. Oh wow, look at this lighting, look at the scene. Let them just make it raw. Here, what do you think? That's the beauty. They don't
yeah,
have to make it look good. It already does look good, Regan.
yeah, exactly. I
I mean,
mean,
that's
like,
the yeah.
yeah, they could add that at the same time, while putting that raw look of the figures. I don't
So
know.
you can
I mean,
make sure all his figures always look good in his videos, in his
mhm.
video footage.
Well,
Yeah.
and looks like we got Ash Chase is in here. What's going on, Ash? I think you've been in here for a while, but putting you up in there. And P Rock's in the house. What's up, my friend P Rock? Good to have P Rockzilla in the house with a great growing channel in there. Make sure you subscribe to P Rock there, along with all these great guys that are in here. Good to have it. There's the 808 Michigan Jedi is in the house, and I already called you out earlier, 808, that I filled up 5 with Popsic and table 88 with you and your wife of 808 Michigan Jedi. Let's fill you up again, baby. All right, so let's go to the last part of the show, which we will wrap this up with. And good to have everybody in here. And let's actually share my screen. And we're going to get into the crux of what this banner is. And I got to get into it so I don't have to change it. Because if I don't talk about it, then I have to take time for an hour to change the banner. So we got to talk about.
So he's going to sneak in. We're doing 30 seconds on this topic. I've covered it. Arena Boba Fett. You guys like the black coloring for it, correct? And then this is a yes or no question. Boom.
Yeah,
There we go.
I say yes. Listen,
All right, that's it. Good night.
And then have a good night, everybody.
All right, so listen, us and them, and this should be a lot of fun for everybody who's in here. I got in here on this banner: delays, early releases, lower numbers, reseller heaven, us and them. What are we dealing with when it comes to Hot Toys, Sideshow, resellers? What are we dealing with from our side at this stage in the game? And you have to wonder with that arena suit Boba Fett, and Brent, I'll start off with you, off on the side. It is a little bit scary in the fact that this arena suit Boba Fett is already fetching astronomical money and value within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. It is absolutely insane. And people knew here for weeks I wouldn't actually add it to the market value chart. I didn't want to believe that it was happening, blah, 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 but I did. And I added it. and it's fetching a very, very high price. And I understand that it's going to be coming out here in a week or two. People are getting their shipments, but that doesn't change the fact that it's rare and you can't buy it no more. And it's Boba Fett, and they only made, like single songwriter pointed out some time ago, 1,500 here for the U.S. and Europe, whatever it is. It's a very, very low number, only whatever it was there in Hong Kong. So there's just not many of them to go around. So is it just going to stop? Let's think about this. I do believe, I'm going to be very, very honest here when it comes to these figures. Just like Sideshow will keep their own Darth Vader in stock and keep reproducing them, and keep their own R2-D2 in stock and keep reproducing them, and keep their own C-3PO in stock, which seems like forever, and keep reproducing them. I do think like Darth Vader, the Obi-Wan, figures of that nature, it'd be good for them to have a certain amount of safety stock in so that new collectors can come in and buy it. But they can't just keep with every single Star Wars figure making buku amounts of production so that they can continue to fill up their warehouses with more and more stock so that they could eventually give, like the armor. If we pulled up the armor right now, when you sorted out best-selling wise here on Sideshow, you can literally get an exclusive figure from last year from that San Diego Comic-Con with only $5 shipping. They're losing money on it. They didn't want to do that again with the Arena Fett. Does that only happen with exclusives, or now are they going to look at this with everything that they're doing as far as how much they're going to order?
I think it's everything. I think this Arena Boba Fett was a game changer. I think it came out of nowhere. Nobody saw it coming. It was an exclusive. Everybody probably thought there was going to be some sort of an exclusive that came along with New York Toy Fair, right? But the fact that it sold out in less than 2 days, I think has absolutely changed was it 14 hours? Really?
Yeah. It's still not it's not the fastest one. That still is there's one, I'm forgetting which one, that sold out in like 2 hours.
Wow. All right. So 14 hours. But my data has been corrected. Thank you, Lane.
Well, and to pause you there, I'm putting this up to kind of go with what I think you're going to say.
Right.
They're still giving a limited time offer of $5 shipping for the armor to get you to buy her. This was an exclusive last year, some exclusive. They must have ordered a lot of her, like they ordered a lot of the Beskar Mandalorian. And if they wanted to do it just for safety stock, if they wanted to do it like Sideshow does their figures, which is a completely different game, so it's really not an accurate comparison. Well, you always want a Darth Vader in stock. You always want an R2-D2 in stock. You always want a C-3PO in stock. Yeah, well, especially if you're the darn company. But they are subtracting out and buying these from Hot Toys. And they don't want to keep putting $5 off or 20% off to get rid of them. They want to sell them for the price and just move them and make their complete profit, right?
No, absolutely. And that's why you're seeing these limited time offers. They want these Armorer figures gone. They want them out of the warehouse. And I don't know if they're going to get that. I mean, maybe if this character has a bigger role in Mandalorian season 3, these might sell a little bit more, but we have to wait about 6 months for that to reveal itself. So they may sit there for a while on some shelves at Sideshow. But I think that Arena Boba Fett changed the game a little bit because A, it came out of nowhere. B, it sold out, like Lane said, in 14 hours. And C, everybody now is worried that is everything else going to be like that? And if you're Hot Toys, you like being in that position, right?
Well, you do. And granted, I think that and it's not just the arena suit Boba Fett, and I'm trying to find it if they still have it on wait list here, but gosh, look at those blurgs. Yeah, the chrome plated clone trooper is another one that went on wait list, which was absolutely a crazy. But I think it's just Lane. It's not because they messed up. Oh, we forgot to order more. They didn't forget to order more. They purposely didn't, Lane, order that many of these, like with the exclusive last year, because I don't think they wanted to be stuck with too much stock that people didn't want to buy.
Well, I think you can just look if you go up and down like the listing there from stuff from the past year, seeing all of those $5 shipping or 10% off or whatever for Marvel or Star Wars or whatever. I think that the Arena Boba Fett is just going to be an indication that in general, I am also the what happened with the Beskar Mando a couple of years ago with the with or overproduction and ordering of that one. I think that also is contributing a little bit now. I think just a lot of the figures in general, we're going to see a lot less getting made of them. And even more, I think maybe with the Arena Boba Fett and stuff with production, they may be trying to put in some more exclusive into the exclusive, making them more exclusive by having less. Now, and what I was saying, the one that's on tour, Suicide Squad Batfleck. That was the one that sold out in 2 hours.
But they're not revealing what their product limit is.
No.
You don't know that number. So you have to play the game. It's a gamble. It's become a gambling game.
Yeah. So if you see something you want it, you might have to be able to be willing to at least throw the pre-order on it and be willing to, if it comes down to it, you might have to be more willing to eat the NRD or something because with everything being 6 months now, it's so that they don't have to give you back NRDs barely at all, if anymore. So you might have to be willing to make the jump. If you're 75% certain you think you might want to get it, you should put the pre-order down. And then if you need to think about it, you just got to be prepared to eat that money loss, unfortunately now. I think Arena Boba Fett proves that. And not all of them are going to do that. It's, of course, what makes it confusing, like that Neo, which is an exclusive, but it's not coming until next year.
Aries, I don't know if you could pull this up. Maybe you can, but best sellers list. And I'm playing off Lane's comment there. Luke Skywalker, deluxe version, special edition, and the non-special edition are creeping up.
Oh, these
big time. Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. And if you haven't gotten in on those yet, that should be an indication right now that you should. That is just my opinion. I mean, they are right there. I mean, they are.
Well, and that's the question I want to ask you guys, and Regan, we'll go to you here. I do think with some of these characters, let's just be honest. Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, these are key characters that I believe that they could have safety stock on, Regan, where they can continue even beyond pre-orders. They could keep it in their warehouses, and for months they could continue to sell. But what I think that they may do, even with these characters, because they did it with the Arena suit Boba Fett, is be yeah, but we don't want to get so much where we got to keep putting coupons on, like with these Beskar Mandalorians, it's $5 off. And then next week, 20% off. And then 25% off. And then nothing for a few days, and then $5 shipping again. Or free shipping. So they're not having to do that with Jango Fett. They're not having to do that with the Luke 40th. They're not doing that. They've never done that with the Clone Wars Ahsoka type of thing. But I think that you can have, Regan, some of these big names like Darth Vader, sure, have a lot of stock. But are they maybe, Sideshow, a little bit hesitant, afraid to get so much so that but we don't want to lose in a year putting on a coupon? What do you think?
You're muted, Regan.
You there, Regan? Regan, you're still muted.
Yes. Sorry.
There you go.
So, yeah, I mean, like you're correct, Aris. I mean, sides are probably afraid of like getting a lot of figures because of what happened to their Mando. I mean, because they thought they probably get a lot of Mandalorian figures because they thought, oh, it's gonna sell out really fast,
Mhm.
especially in US. I mean, they're probably like overwhelmed, like, oh, like, let's get everything, like just like maybe they probably tell to Hot Toys to do a lot of like Mandalorian figures, and then they suddenly it's sitting around, and they have so much stocks probably in their warehouse. So I think for they don't want to do it again for other figures, like as you said, like Jango Fett and Luke. I mean, for sure, like since there's no like limit on the numbers, they still like kind of like didn't want to take the risk like to get a lot of like figures. So that's why I think that's the reason why they didn't put to Luke and also Jango Fett and also in other characters, even Ahsoka Tano. They didn't want to like put like extra discounts. I mean,
Yeah,
they
it's I don't think they want to. I think it's sometimes when they're looking, Regan, to get in more business, it's good to put out coupons, get more people interested, get new collectors to come in and buy something. But it's at the point with some of those figures where clearly they're putting out, those coupons to get rid of them. So, and I think, Lane, going back to you, with the hardcore characters, I know you and I were talking earlier today about like Darth Vader, the Battle Damage, the DX, the Obi-Wan. Sure, they're going to get stock in. People are going to buy them. Brent mentioned earlier the Luke, but I'm getting the sense, and from all the data that I'm collecting, and of course I'm in the manufacturing and production business and have been for a very, very long time. Typically, when this stuff starts happening, even with your big key items, you start putting in some stop gaps or parameters and some limitations saying, okay, these do get more that we're going to order, but it's still not as much as what it was before. And certainly these lower ones, since there's so many, and people are going to be like, hey, how do I
There's a
buy
lot
all
more
this?
than years ago that you had to worry about making
Yes.
numbers of making, and also just the number of, not even including now, just all the stuff you have to by contract or everything.
Right.
License, you're going to have to make at least one, like from She-Hulk, which, we might say that seems like more kind of a comedy series than a hero series. They're going to at least have to make a She-Hulk from it. Like they
Yes.
have to make at least one from the show. And
Mhm.
what's the R&D and time they have to put in to make that character.
Right.
But I think also even, but I mean, even for some of these big characters and stuff, I think you're right. Like they're going to have lesser production, and that still doesn't mean somebody should. Good example, Darth Vader. What's the last Darth Vader we had? 40th anniversary.
Well,
even though it's kind of reissued, that one went bye.
And I don't think
was around a couple months and went goodbye.
Yes, and I don't necessarily think with every figure that they're all just going to go really quick, because I think there is going to be now with Star Wars more quantity to choose from, but it'll even out because there'll be more quantity of selection, but less
of
quantity of numbers for each selection.
They don't want stuff sitting around. I know we talked about it earlier, even though it's not a direct 1-for-1, like that Hulkbuster, which is finally going blue screen. That thing's been sitting there for 3 years. Now it's a $1,100 figure, but it's still a figure that's been sitting for 3 years, and it's, so they don't want figures sitting around for 3 years, I don't think, anymore.
Well, no, and I think it's going to change. But I'm going to go around the table with this. How can this affect? You have to wonder. With some of these things that are happening, like the not the best car, the Arena suit Boba Fett, which is now going between, $650, really $700, $800 in the secondary market to get that figure. It just came out and it's gone. and you're getting this with the not quite as high, but in the mid 400s for the chrome plated clone trooper with the two helmets. How, if this continues to happen? Because what made and I'll go to you, Brent, first. What made the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan figure and the Grand Moff Tarkin figure and the Han and Chewbacca set and so on and so forth grails was that simmering time that made them grails through time. They didn't just automatically go out there and Obi-Wan was $600. It wasn't just overnight that Count Dooku and Director Krennic was $450, $425. It simmered through times. But now you're getting some figures that are just okay automatically. You're at that because of the quantity is less production. So now you're getting some of these what I call instant grails. How is that going to affect the secondary market for Star? Does it affect it? Does it bring any of those figures down? Does it actually make those? Does it promote? Does it catapult those figures? What do you think?
You have a large group of people out there, a large collector base, in my opinion, that wants to have every Boba Fett figure ever created. And I get it. I completely get it. Every one. And in order to have that, you have to have the arena Boba Fett, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing happens. There's a group of people out there who are completely bought into these chrome versions of all of these characters. Now, there are no chrome versions of Star Wars characters in the movies, right? With the exception of, I guess, Captain Phasma, if you want to throw her in there.
Yeah, she was chrome. Yeah.
Right. So you've got, these are unique. They are off the reservation. They are different. They are, and they want all of them. So, I just think people are clamoring to get these.
Well,
and it's, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like, Beskar Kid says, I already heard the Chrome Stormtrooper is already going for $800. It is sometimes. Remember that the Arena Suit Boba Fett was going for $850 when it first came out, and then all of a sudden it came out, and then you had like Tim Cent who put it out there real quick and was selling it for $650. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's up to like, I don't know, $675, $700.
Well, you can't do chrome versions of Chewbacca. You can't do chrome versions of Farm Boy Luke. You can't do chrome versions of Leia, right? So you have to pick these unique characters that you can do that with, and they're doing that, and it's working. It's working. These things are, these particular figures are selling out, and it's amazing to watch it happen. I'm not buying any of them. I don't know if you guys are. I'm not into the chrome line, but man, is there an underworld out there who is, and it is amazing.
Well, and here's the interesting thing, and I think, and we're going to go around the horn to Lane and Regan, and we're going to do it quick before we go ahead and end the show. So let's keep our comments quick here. But I think it's going to be interesting, Lane, to keep a track of the Star Wars secondary market with some, because I think that what we're talking about here is exactly what's going to happen. There is going to be lower production numbers, and there's going to be somewhat more, as you're seeing with all these Star Wars announcements, more quantity of characters, but less quantity of production numbers, but sometimes coming into the secondary market, which in some cases you could say will flood the secondary market. But the secondary market is, though, already flooded, and it's high. So I'm wondering, does it just continue to simmer up? Does it bring figures down? Does it bring everything down? Does it meet somewhere in the middle? What do you think?
I'm more of the mindset like Denobi was talking on his stream last night when he was on at like midnight our time, Central Time. I think we're going to see right now, but I can kind of agree with him. I think like a year from now and everything like that, we're going to start seeing secondary market pricing on average for some figures like kind of stabilize and go up. Like Marvel's going to probably rebound, and I think pricing for some of those figures.
Marvel will absolutely rebound, and he's Denobi's 100% right. But also a part of that is the fact that Endgame and Infinity War had a lot to do with those going down, because it was like, oh, it's over. Here's some new characters, but they're legacy characters. And as these new characters and shows come up, people are still going to be pumped up about, like they are for the OT with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Also, they're going to bring these characters back sometimes to do some. So, and then it's like when it was like Tobey Maguire came back, and Andrew Garfield came back, and then all of a sudden those guys, oh, I need that figure that was only $300. Now it's $500. So that's
Chris
100%
Evans,
right.
an alternate version of Chris Evans, alternate version of Captain America shows up, and like Secret Wars that caps off the multiverse. Oh my gosh, I remember how much I like that. I need the original Avengers Captain America or something like that.
So you're under the guys then. So we can. You're under the guys then that it'll stabilize, but some of them will go up.
Like some of the troopers and stuff like that. You know, recent ones have gone like just crash and burn. I think they'll not ever be like super expensive, but they'll go where they're around retail or so.
Well, let me ask you this then, and I agree with that. But where is this guy going to be in a year?
You underestimate my power.
Do you have to keep reminding me about the Curse of Darkseid Anakin? Like I already had to hear this morning.
Listen,
but he's gonna be. Well, he's how about honestly, Aries. Let me to you guys here, just 30 seconds.
29. 28. Wait a minute. Wait, really? Wait, 30 seconds. Here it is.
Can Darkseid Anakin honestly go above like $1,700 for someone buying it? Like to be that crazy?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That I'm going to let you ask him that question.
You underestimate my power.
Well, Aries, time to call up the Hot Toys Wizard, man. And what is his prediction for like 2023 for Darkseid Anakin?
I actually think, and I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow on my Insiders. So if anybody wants to go ahead and become a member of 6 Scale Cantina, I do put in hours, and I mean hours of work, into collecting market data to give you the best opinion that I could give you. I actually think with Darkseid Anakin, when you see some of these figures sometimes going for $1,200, $1,600, $1,700 when they're new, I do think that will come down somewhat. And I do think it will stabilize. It'll be a high figure, but I don't think it's going to go that high that quick. But I have some reasoning behind that. If you want to become a Cantina insider, I will be speaking about this tomorrow. You want to go ahead and join me at 11 a.m. Eastern. Any of you, I do it just about every weekend. I go live. I do crazy unboxings. I do all kinds of stuff. But I will be live tomorrow for insiders, and I'm going to dive into that. I don't see that figure in itself continuing to be above some of the 2-packs. Lane, to answer that question, but I'm going to pause you there and go to Regan real quick for the final say on that. With these figures that are getting injected into Europe and the United States, like the Arena Suit Boba Fett, low production and maybe lower production, and all of a sudden more in the secondary market. What happens in your opinion in the secondary market? Do we get more instant grails like the Arena Fett because it's a lower production?
Well, to be honest, I like that like limited, production on each character.
I like it too. Yes.
I like that that way. I mean, well, I know, of course, there's a lot of collectors who wants, to get those figures. Of course, there are some certain times like we cannot get right away because it's out of budget, or let's say they don't like it yet for now, and then suddenly, oh, I like it now. So but yeah, if Hot Toys and Sideshow could make that that kind of like production, like limited, then it would be great for us. Of course, there's a lot of new collectors out there, like also probably gonna buy it no matter how much it is. I mean, like if they have budget, like if you really want, we really want it,
Hmm.
and then I would say like they should really make that production very
Yep.
limited. But then for troopers, like let's say I saw a lot of like in the secondary market before, it was really like so high. Now it's really like dropping, like the price market, like it become cheaper now. I mean, like what for the used one, but for other like limited troopers, like
The
especially the
limiteds are,
one,
yeah.
still high, it's still expensive. But then some other troopers, of course, maybe they well, in other country, it's still they still some a lot of collectors are still needs that, like those troopers. But here in Hong Kong, I saw a lot of like troopers that just made recently. The price like really dropped, like
Mhm.
I mean, like even if it's used, compared before, like but for some main characters, I want it like to be like more like limited. It's
Mhm.
at least if ever, like some collectors wanted to let it go, at least some collectors might can experience it. Like it should be like that. The collector's life should be like that. It's like passing to the next collectors, new collectors. But I mean, like, of course, everyone wants to have the same feeling of like having all the the figures. But yeah, I mean, for the some resellers,
Mhm.
probably it's not good for them. Like if they're thinking about more
No.
like the side, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but yeah, for us collectors, I mean, we're fine. I mean, like because
Yes.
we could wait, like because if you're really true collectors, like you're gonna wait, because
Yep.
you don't want to be like hurry, like I want this right now. But then of course you really, but then if you really want it so bad,
Mhm.
that figure, then you could pay for that, because
Yeah.
then that's the way of like you're
Yeah.
gonna save up, you're gonna like work hard for it, and that's the feeling like when once you
Mhm.
get it, like even if expensive, finally I got this figure. It's not like okay, they're still sitting out there. I mean, the figure still is sitting out there in the sideshow. I'm just gonna wait. So
Mhm.
it's not like that. I mean, it's not that's the feeling of like your
Yep.
mind is not really for collecting that you really like. It's more like you're collecting because it's the price value. It's not like that. But then yeah, like
Yeah. No. Good thoughts.
yeah, if they
Yeah.
should, they should really make it more limited. I mean, I'm glad that I have
Well.
those like figures that also limited, that I
Yep.
until today I haven't opened, like especially that Dark Anakin. I mean, I just, yeah, I
You're
mean, like
gonna
I
open a dark Anakin, but
wanna
we
type it.
maybe when I have you back on the show, and those are great thoughts, Regan. I want to talk to you. Maybe I could get you to do your dark side Anakin when you're here, but I know you got to, open it from the box and like
Yeah, I
show
know.
us, or maybe you could do it on your show and then pull out the
Uh,
figure and go, here it is. But that would be a lot of fun.
yeah, I'm gonna share that with you guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Later.
Well, listen, guys, there is another show. My friend Six Scale Mafia is going to be going on. He's probably so it's time for me, the Dark Jedi, to sign off. This has been a lot of fun. Everybody in here, you should go check out Six Scale Mafia Anthony and his show tonight. I think he's also going to be talking about some of the topics we spoke about from a marketing perspective as well. So go ahead and go do that. But listen, while you go, besides hitting the like button, you should 1000% go to the link on MRC Collection Ventures. Look, I know all of you know Regan, but just in case you're not subscribed, go subscribe to MRC Collection Ventures right now. It's in the video description below. Great guy. And he also put out the secret base video of the Iron Man Mark 7 diorama base. So you should go check that out. Lane is always awesome. Brent is always awesome. Gonna have these guys on again. You will have me tomorrow at Insiders. You will have me live Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Monday Night Raw on there. So don't forget that. But guys, I want to sign off so we can get people on Six Scale Mafia show. But I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. So I'm going to sign off here.
Never forget this Monday. Finally, Aries will return to Monday night.
Raw. Stay thirsty, baby. See ya.